leading a frontal assault on the lies of the New World Order. It's Christian Coffins.
DarkDox Digest. DarkDox Digest. DarkDox Digest. DarkDox Digest.
Welcome to the March 3rd, 2025, Monday edition of the DarkDox Digest with your host, Christian Coffins.
DarkDox Digest. DarkDox Digest.
Holy glitches, Batman. Oh man, let me get back in the chat here. We had to jump ship. Hopefully anyone sees this. I just shared a bunch of links and the whole thing glitched out. And I had to restart everything. Oh my god. What a disaster. How's everyone doing? It is... I'm going to wait for some people to get over here. So I'm going to stall. If this is your first time tuning in, I am Christian Coffins, and I cover all of the news that's going on all day long, everywhere in the world. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we got some live action going on because...
accomplices. You. And
Paul.
Ron
Go ahead and go
Paul.
to the display capture.
And countless others like Tucker Carlson.
So we're live
I was
over
your accomplice
here
in writing the speech
at
earlier.
Infowars Studio.
That the long
and,
surrender
the
of
president's
America
about
to
give his
economic
first,
slavery
big
under the globalist model
speech
of
to the
no
Senate and the Congress and everybody.
tariffs for foreign goods, but massive tariffs on ours and open border.
And so while Alex is queuing everything up, we're going to go ahead and get to the news. All right, people got over here. What the heck? Hey, Holistic Empire. I know. Like, what happens is, like, you click go live, and then it double clicks it, which the go live button and end broadcast is the same button. So it makes me so mad. It makes me so mad. Oh, which what reminds me, I need to put it on the website broadcast, so I need to add it to the... See, this is all the back office stuff done. So that way it shows up on the player widget. And but today is accountability because the scumbag over at the head of the FBI's New York field office retires under pressure from the Trump administration, sources say. James Dennehy. He needs to be arrested. It's obstruction of justice. I mean, cut and dry.
Just into us out of New York, 5 sources are telling our team here at NBC News that the FBI's field office head in New York is retiring under alleged pressure. Just a month after saying he was preparing for a quote-unquote battle with the Trump administration over agents who worked on January 6th cases. I want to get to Vaughn Hilliard now, who's joining us from here in Washington. Big picture, this is what the president and new FBI director Kash Patel have suggested that they would do, right? I mean, they had a vision for how the FBI should work. This is also, I think, what some critics of the Trump administration, in particular some Democrats, had feared, the potential targeting and retribution for people high up. Talk us through what we know about this now retired FBI field head.
Right. James Dennehy, Hallie, for more than 2 decades, rose through the ranks of the FBI. And in 2024, he took over as head of the New York field office. And upon the declaration that the FBI and the Department of Justice were going to be seeking the names of all the FBI agents that worked on cases related to January 6 defendants, of which there were more than 1,500 of, that they were seeking out these names. That is what prompted Dennehy at the time to send an email saying that he intended to dig in and effectively attempt to stand in the way. At that point in time, he said in his email, quote, "Today we find ourselves in the middle of a battle of our own
justice.
as good people are being walked out of the FBI and others are being targeted because they did their jobs in accordance with the law and FBI policy." Fast forward a few weeks.
You can't read off your phone on the news in the frame.
Provocateur, a podcaster, he was brought in to be the deputy director of the FBI, a close ally to Kash Patel. And today, in a note to staff, Dennehy telling them that he was given the option of whether to resign or whether to be fired. Our
he shouldn't have any options. He should be in cuffs.
On this over the last hour and obtained the.
Am I taking crazy pills?
And just in part, he said, "quote I've been told many times in my life, when you find yourself in a hole, sometimes it's best to quit digging. Screw that. I will never stop defending this joint." Those were the words of the outgoing field director at the FBI's New York field office.
When you find holes, screw that. This guy, he needs to be arrested. All right, so we only got two pertinent White House updates. Open borders, pro-EV mandate, politician to respond to joint address. Alyssa Slocum will respond to President Trump joint address to Congress tonight. Senator Slotskin, that's what's going on live. Let's take a peek over there. He's still talking. Voted against overturning Biden's tailpipe emission rule, a rule that would force automakers to sell more electronic vehicles, killing auto manufacturing jobs. President Trump stood up for Americans and consumers, auto workers, and repealed this de facto electronic vehicle mandate. Yeah, I mean, dude, gas is here to stay, baby. We will. That's what the second Civil War is going to be over. Of all things, it's like, you're not going to take my Owlmobile. Love that thing. It's a house. Fact sheet: President Donald J. Trump proceeds with tariffs on imports from Canada and Mexico, safeguarding the nation. President Trump proceeding with implementation of tariffs to Canada and Mexico under the International Emergency Economic Powers Act to combat extraordinary threats to national security, including public health posed by unchecked drug trafficking. And it's a harsh one. He's slapping him. Slippy slappy. White House wants recorded apology from Zelensky, who says he wants to make things right. I like this one because he looks like a chipmunk. It's the fucking... it's the teeth. When the front teeth do that. Those little sunken in eyes. He's punchable. He's very punchable. On Tuesday, Ukrainian dictator Vladimir Zelensky, Vladimir, right? I keep hearing people saying Voldemort or something. He is ready to work with President Trump, allegedly. We'll see about that. Trump responds, now Zelensky, with two Y's, will have no choice but to back down and accept Trump's terms. Love when he speaks in third person. But here's the genius part. Trump is actually protecting Ukraine without dragging the U.S. into a war. Appreciate it. By negotiating a mineral deal, Trump ensures that Americans will be involved in Ukraine's mining industry. This prevents Russia from launching an invasion because attacking Ukraine would mean endangering American lives, something that would force the U.S. to respond. So, Ducey, more like Douchey, he had this to say from a source.
By a senior official here that nothing's going to happen with this minerals deal until Zelensky goes in front of cameras and makes an explicit public apology for the way that he behaved himself.
Low energy, low volume, Fox News, and I'll skip it. It wasn't even that Wasn't even that special anyway. America will not be conscripted into Ukraine war. John Bound reports.
As manpower shortages deepen, Ukrainian recruitment officers, often operating in unmarked vans, have been seen targeting men aged 25 to 60, sometimes even younger, snatching them from public places like bars, streets, and vehicle registration offices with little to no warning.
So I had this Ukraine guy reach out to me after he saw my Zelensky video, but he was basically like, dude, you're spot on. Zelensky is threatening and it's awful here in Ukraine. He said, please let Americans know what kind of democracy is going on here. I'm not even talking about the simple fact that our borders are closed for all men of military age, which is 18 through 60. We can't leave the country. We can't even leave our towns or villages because there are checkpoints with the police and military recruiters everywhere. We don't have any real opposition. We don't have any real independent media. We don't have election. They can also spray gas into your car and set you on fire if you don't get out.
This is where involvement with the NATO war machine leads.
The answer from European capitals has been as resounding as it is clear. We are in an era of rearmament. And Europe is ready to massively boost its defense spending, both to respond to the short-term urgency to act and to support Ukraine, but also to address the long-term need to take on more responsibility for our own European security.
Senator Angus King is an independent from Maine, serving on the Armed Services and Intelligence Committees.
I always try to think of, what's the argument on both sides? I cannot think of a rational argument for pulling our support from Ukraine.
And what should Congress be doing about Ukraine?
I think they have to start speaking up, because if we persist in walking away from Ukraine, it will be the greatest geopolitical mistake that this country's made since World War II.
As Zelensky continues to threaten the United States that it will become embroiled in Ukraine's quagmire if Article 5 is triggered.
The U.S. will have to send their sons and daughters exactly the same way as we are sending their sons and daughters to war, and they will have to fight. Because it's NATO that we're talking about, and they will be dying.
Everybody knows Zelensky's a liar. Everybody knows he's a horrible person. Everybody knows that there's record-level human trafficking, sex slavery, snuff films, organ harvesting, hundreds of billions stolen, NATO blowing up Nord Stream pipeline, Zelensky and NATO. Zelensky's got caught 2 years ago firing missiles into Poland, trying to blame the Russians, but the Poles had good missile defense and
Yeah, so that's about halfway through that. That's a rather long John Bound reports. It's good. Good stuff. Just in, President Trump resumes tariffs. Yep, got that. Because of it, Canadians are removing American-made whiskeys from their shelves that they already imported. Which is hilarious. I'll drink it. I quit drinking. Do you like whiskey? They're like, we're going to dispose of these, don't you worry. Look at all these makers marks. They got the 101 box. It's just silly. You guys are silly. You could do all kinds of stuff with that. And they're going to. I'm sure Clown World has funny things. Kash Patel and Pam Bondi will learn about this. I suspect heads will roll. Attorney Ty Cleaver responds after FBI refuses to release Seth Rich records on March 10th. A corrupt FBI one says... I don't like how they write. I'm just not in the mood to read today, to tell you the truth, but this is an important case. Seth Rich... he was murdered. It was a Democrat staffer, DNC staffer, and he had stuff on the Podestas and Pizzagate and all that stuff, and yeah, they need to release that stuff because it's not okay. Oh, yeah, Ray Epps news. I've received never before published recordings of James Ray Epps' March 3rd, 2021 interview with FBI. This is the first known interview conducted by authorities and took place just over 2 months after the events on that day. This is the freshest those events should be in their memory. 18 U.S.C. 1001 makes it a federal offense to lie to federal agents, but yet they can lie to us. We start off with what Ray Epps whispered to Ryan Samsel.
And everybody starts piling up, and there was a kid there, and he started doing this with barricades. And I walked up to him and I put my arm on him and said, "Hey, that's not why we're here. Don't be doing that." And next thing I know.
So real quick, had you ever seen that kid? Was this the kid with the
I've never seen any of this.
With the hood.
Yeah.
Actually, there already.
I don't know who he was. No clue. I just tried to talk him out of doing what he was doing. And then all of a sudden it blew up.
They're saying we need more people. So I see this is like a gotcha. Gotcha, bitch. Guilty as sin. Democrats are out of ideas, so they plan on disrupting President Trump's historic speech. Oh yeah, let's check on that. Still talking. With hand clappers and eggs. Democrats continue to flounder as President Trump's days of thunder transform the United States of America into a broker, Biden years into a secure, prosperous, and responsible nation ready to face the challenges of the 21st century. So much fluff. Get to the point. I'm like so not in the mood to read today. Chaos erupts in Serbian parliament. That's more like it. No sound? Lame. Yeah, I hope these Democrats in the U.S. aren't getting any ideas. Fuck around and find out if you try that over here. Look at this shit. It's wild. I mean, what's that gonna do? They're holding up a sign that says something. I don't read that. Man, this is something else. Holy shit. I mean, what a bunch of cucks. If I saw anyone doing any of that shit, I wouldn't be holding up a phone. I'd be kicking some ass. Like, are all of them doing it? Like, is everyone just in on it? I'm so confused. This is the most confusing footage I have seen in a while. It's like they're just having a party. They're all just chilling. I need some context here. What the fuck is going on? Huh. Funded by George Soros. But why? But why? That's what I'm asking. Alright. Well, trans-identified male BDSM fetish working with children in schools oppose female-only sports for girls. This fella. Remember her? She is still there inside you, waiting. Let's let her go. Reduxes learns that trans activist based in Washington State who serves on the board of directors at an LGBTQ youth group is a BDSM fetishist who maintains a profile on a controversial fetish website where he arranges sex parties. Yeah, you know, I mean, those are two separate lanes. I don't know if it's... I mean, just how is that going to work? Living that little double life. It's weird. Like when there's like teachers that are also, they have OnlyFans and things like that. Like, should that be allowed? Should they, I'm on the fence because it's like, I feel like you have a right to do whatever you want on your own time. But like, you see how like that's a personality type. It's going to bleed over. I'm conflicted on that one. During a Tumwater School Board meeting on February 7th, Hogle said that a resolution protecting girls' high school sports would lead to young people committing suicide. Let's watch.
And now the basketball court in Tumwater High School for a young girl. I just have one
Get in
question.
here, Hunter.
How many
Hunter's an expert in
students
this
here
kind of stuff.
play on WIAA teams in Tumwater? And is it worth creating an entire policy for that many? I don't think you're protecting the safety of anyone by eliminating the right of a trans student to participate in sports.
Tepid applause. If you have a dick, you can compete with dudes, dude. Cool? Tella Hogle. What do we got here? A gay politician who pushed gender identity reforms commits suicide after admitting to child pornography charges. A prominent gay politician who was arrested for possession of distribution of child pornography last fall has committed suicide after having admitted to the charges. Michael Eskil Mikkelsen, a former member of Sami Parliament, was arrested in November for acquiring images of children being sexually assaulted and had led the Norwegian, whatever the fuck, work on gender identity reform.
Sametingsråd Mikkel Eskil Mikkelsen varetektsfengsla.
So, link in description for all this stuff. Air traffic control replaced with artificial intelligence. Another Reese report that, hey, Hunter, get back to jail. Yeah, he's not posting these to ban.video. Like, did he get kicked? Is he choosing not to? Let's find out. It's only 5 minutes.
The U.S. has been having a problem lately with airplane and helicopter crashes.
An LAPD helicopter made an emergency landing, 2 officers on board.
Here's what we know. LAPD says one of its air support unit helicopters was doing a training exercise at the Los Alamitos training base when it had a minor training incident around 1 this afternoon. As a result, that pilot had to do an emergency landing.
A plane crash on a South Texas highway injured 4 people.
Yeah, that plane hit several cars when it landed on the access road of a highway in Victoria, southeast of San Antonio.
The plane crash happened in an intersection adjacent to a freeway overpass. Pieces of the aircraft damaged 3 vehicles on the ground. Video initially showed the plane split at the fuselage. Both the Federal Aviation Administration and the National Transportation Safety Board looking into what caused the crash.
Pilot is dead following a plane crash in Adams County. That's according to the Ohio State Highway Patrol, currently out there on the scene. The plane was a private aircraft. It went down in a wooded area near Savage Road in Bratton Township. This all happened around 3:30 p.m. The Federal Aviation Administration and the National Transportation Safety Board plan to investigate the crash.
We now have an FAA report that a military helicopter and a regional jet have collided near Reagan National Airport.
Yeah, you can see the moment of impact down there toward the bottom right-hand side of your screen. That's another plane taking off at the time. But when the camera zooms back out, you're going to see that explosion in just a moment. There it is, right there. So again, and you can see.
Another plane has crashed in another American city, and this time it is Philadelphia. A twin-engine medevac jet took off from a local airport en route to Missouri. That plane reached 1,600 feet after takeoff before plunging 11,000 feet per minute. Here is another look at the crash as it happened.
She's still hanging.
fighter jet crash in Alaska.
We're learning more about the crash and the pilot who survived. Here's ABC's Lionel Moise.
Video circulating online shows the F-35 crashing at Eielson Air Force Base in Alaska, the pilot ejecting safely.
Yet another community is heartbroken. Residents in Nome saying it's very tight-knit. Everyone is affected by this in some way, and now investigators are focused on figuring out why this happened.
This morning, the U.S. Coast Guard releasing this photo of the mangled wreckage of the plane that vanished over open water in Alaska. 3 bodies of the 10 on board recovered.
This is out of Wilmington, North Carolina, and we are told that Novant Health is now confirming a medical helicopter crash that happened last night with 3 people injured.
Whether or not this is normal, it is being shown to us on the news more than usual, which is creating an emotional reaction. And the false narrative being pushed is that it's due to DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion hires. But there is zero evidence of this. It's simply another narrative to keep the sleepy masses busy while the solution of replacing humans with artificial intelligence is being implemented.
This
We're
is why
already
it's not
working
on that
with
video.
an AI agent company, so they're building AI agents for this aviation data. So what you saw in America recently with the helicopter crash could have been easily preventable, because ultimately the data was there. We can look back at that crash and we can see those aircraft heading towards each other and crashing. So it wasn't the fact that the data wasn't there, it was just nobody was looking at it at the time, or certainly the people that were looking at it weren't able to do anything about it. So really what we need to be able to do is, why have a human looking at it all the time? Obviously you need a human there to monitor these systems, but if you can use agents to actually detect these issues and then to report them and alert them to the air traffic controllers, then everyone can be alerted to this problem or the situation coming up and actually do something about it.
Greg Reese reporting.
You see, you can't say anyone controls what I do here, because I will show all sides, baby. Send me a link. Post it in the comments. And while we're at it, let's go ahead and like this video. Click the share button. Copy the link. Send it to somebody. We're going to be doing this for, I might be going for another hour. Create a post. Do all that fun stuff. We appreciate everyone here. Data Battle Z is crushing it, doing these intros all the time. And he says it looks like it's a David Knight situation with Greg. Yeah, I mean, whatever did happen to David Knight, are you still following him? I haven't heard anything from him in years. Also, Holistic Empire says Ernie Shell case was promoted to DC FBI after finding a whole lot of fuckery going on. Send me write an article about that, and we'll post it to DarkDox. DarkDox.com is an independent media outlet, and no one pays us to do a damn thing. So if you like what we do, go to darkdox.com/shop or darkdox.me/shop, or just click shop at darkdox.com or dark.me. They got all kinds of cool stuff that I'll show you in a little bit. But in the meantime, federal agents bust California human smuggling ring that allegedly involved 20,000 people. Wow. When liberals hear the phrase mass migration, they seem to think of it as an opportunity to virtue signal about how welcoming they are to foreigners. For conservatives and other supporters of President Trump, however, the phrase conjures realistic images of horror for everyone involved. Yep. So here at DarkDox, what are you still doing here, Data Battles? I forget these things are on the screen until I glance over. Because I'm looking at that screen, so it looks like I'm... Anyway, we got projectors, we got MP4 players, we got thumb drives loaded with the entire DarkDox archive, which has documentaries and podcasts and audiobooks and declassified federal documents and memes and a bunch of cool things. It's an archive that needs to be in every household. We got buttons, we got stickers, we got vinyl, we got t-shirts, We got Blu-rays. We got comic books with CDs. We recorded music about Bohemian Grove and the Franklin cover-up. And it's amazing stuff. It's amazing. We got shop rags. DarkDox.me/shop. Also, we're an affiliate of the AlexJonesStore.com, and they got all kinds of great stuff. I highly suggest getting the VIP program if you're going to get anything, because it's $30 a month, and then you're committed to, you know, helping out Infowars. And you go to thealexjonestore.com/DarkDox, and we get 10%. So we really appreciate it. And but they give you an extra $10 to spend, so they give you $40 a month when you spend $30, and then you get 30 to 50% off everything. They're giving away Jeeps. They're giving away all kinds of stuff. And I just got the She Legit. Used it for the first time today. Feel good. So, you know, we'll see. Usually it takes a little while to have, you know, the stuff going through your system, but they're going crazy about it. The Atomic Defense, I've been using that when I'm feeling a little fluky, a little like, you know, I pop one of those in. It has echinacea, sea moss, cumin powder, biopurine, honey powder. And they got a Optimal Human Superfood Green. I haven't tried that, but it's a whole kit and caboodle to make green drinks that are everything you need. They got knives. They got biggest balls, big balls, hats. They got all kinds of stuff at thealexjonesstore.com/DarkDox. Congresswoman Maxine Waters actually, before I get to the second half of the show, let's see where we're going with this speech thing. They're playing that. So, yeah, we'll see. I'm going to, real quick, go to ban.video and see what's going on that live feed. They're not live yet. Okay. It's 8:30. I'm kind of surprised. So this is working out perfectly then. Congresswoman Maxine Waters among 13 lawmakers who spoke tonight at a rally organized by the National Low Income Housing Coalition. Elon Musk's 13 children sleep good at night. What happens to the other children in America?
Elon Musk's 13 children sleep good at night. What happens to the other children in America? Yeah. Elon Musk's 13 children sleep good at night. What happens to the other children in America? Yeah.
I stole this from Owen Schroyer. War Room. I was like, oh, I need that. His is not inverted. His like looks, but we're DarkDox, so it feels like Tales from the Dark Side, right? Isn't this cozy? It's like the alternate White House. It's the Dark House. It's the Black House. Infowars moves on with the times. David and Greg are a little old school. I miss David. Data Battles, he says, yeah, I like him too. I like their stuff back then. It's true. Loomer Unleashed. Laura Loomer tagged a bunch of people. And why are you speaking at an event where rally attendees are holding Kill Trump signs? Let's see what she says.
Congresswoman, why are you speaking at an event where rally goers are holding a Kill Trump sign? Literally right there.
Uneventful. The delivery should have been more. Yeah. B for effort though. Congresswoman Maxine Waters walking up to HUD to deliver a letter. Secretary Tom Turner demanding answers to housing cuts and federal programs and mass layoffs. You can't say "and" 3 times. Uneventful. I apologize for that. What a waste of time. This was one of those, it's a threat to our democracy. It's a threat to our democracy. One of those like Mockingbird things. Astounding 22 Democrat senators have uploaded videos of themselves reading off an identical cringy script bashing Trump and Musk. From Nick Sordor, he put this... Viewer discretion is advised. It's nothing horrible, but like it gave Owen Schroyer, like it triggered him. He had to like go to like soft piano music for a while to like calm down after watching this. So you might get triggered.
When I win, I will immediately bring prices down starting on day one.
I feel like this just needs to be one of my background from now on. It sucks that like it's not quite synced up. It wasn't as good when newsreaders do it. They're like they have the same cadence, whereas when these guys do it, it's kind of out of sync. They do the whole. It's like a minute 23. Alright. Like we're almost there. So some of them are a little longer than others. Maybe like they said it a little slower. Anyway. It's weird when they do that. It's eerie. Very eerie. Female inmates in Minnesota prison harassed, flashed, intimidated by trans-identified male transfers. Whistleblower tells Minnesota House Committee. Jesus Christ. I'm a lady. I'm a lady. Canada fulfills its promise to the U.S. 7 cartels and gangs designated as terrorist entities. Canadian cartels?
This morning we are announcing that the Government of Canada is listing 7 transnational criminal organizations as terrorist entities under Canada's criminal code. These listed entities are organized crime groups that spread fear in local populations by using methods of extreme violence and are known for drug trafficking, human trafficking, and trafficking in illegal guns. The listing of an entity under the criminal code follows a rigorous and ongoing process that must meet a legal threshold. Listings are in fact based on evidence, intelligence, and the law. All 7 of these transnational criminal organizations clearly meet this threshold. Once an entity is listed, it is considered to be a terrorist group under the criminal code. The criminal code prohibits certain actions in relation to terrorist groups, including those related to terrorist financing, travel, and recruitment. It is prohibited for any person in Canada, as well as every Canadian abroad, to knowingly deal with the property of a terrorist group. Let me repeat that. It is prohibited for any person in Canada, as well as every Canadian abroad, to knowingly deal with the property of a terrorist group. To avoid criminal liability, banks and brokerages will freeze these entities' assets, which can then be the subject of seizure, restraint, or forfeiture.
Yep. So, this is good. You got you moving and you got your shakings. Democrats hold retreat to figure out how to win back voters. Recommendations included rejecting almost everything they stand for. This is a great photo. It's like weird. Democrats are in a political wilderness and don't seem to understand that they found themselves, how they found themselves there. Yep. Anyway, it's a listicle. I thought it was a video. Casey Anthony, Florida story. Doge, get back to work. Casey Anthony joins TikTok to announce new career as an LGBTQ legal advocate. I knew it was. I saw the video earlier. We got a little. I saw it on YouTube Shorts, but yep, here we go. Look at the eyes. Keep an eye on her eyes as she speaks.
We're sweat to death. Okay. Today is Saturday, March 1st, 2025. This is my first of probably many recordings on a series that I'm starting. I am a legal advocate. I am a researcher. I've been in the legal field since 2011. And in this capacity, I feel that it's necessary, if I'm going to continue to operate appropriately as a legal advocate, that I start to advocate for myself and also advocate for my daughter. For those of you who don't know, my name is Casey Anthony. My daughter is Kaylee Anthony. My parents are George and Cindy Anthony. This is not about them. This is not in response to anything that they have said or done. That's not to say that I'm not going to respond at some point to some of the things that they have said and done. The whole point of this is for me to begin to reintroduce myself. I'm doing this both personally for me, but in a professional capacity. Moving forward, the majority of what you will see will be me speaking in a professional capacity. My goal is to continue to help give a voice to people, to give people tools and resources that they can utilize so they actually know where they can turn to. So with that, please join me on Substack. If you have questions, I will set up an email address where we can correspond directly. Up until this point, that has never happened. And it's only going to be on a limited basis regarding legal issues, legal matters. One of the main reasons that I'm doing this, there are people close to me who have been targeted and attacked recently. There are also people close to me who have had some recent things occur. And when necessary, people needed to step up, myself included. So as a proponent for the LGBTQ community, for our legal community, women's rights, I feel that it's important that I use this platform that was thrust upon me and now look at as a blessing as opposed to the curse that it has been since 2008. With that, these aren't going to be perfect. They're not going to be edited. Most of the time, they're not going to be short. But I am proverbially standing in the light, embracing this piece, still going to keep my privacy intact, so you will get very comfortable with my car. And I will explain in great detail why it's so important for people to protect their privacy. It's not just important to public figures, it's even more important to private individuals. And
she gives me the ick. Go get her, Chris Hansen. She murdered her daughter. Like, let's be real about it. She murdered her daughter. It's disgusting. Several statements and re-ups for... Oh, yeah, we got that. Good. Let's check on this video. Let's see. No? Jeez. Yeah, that's what's going on live. Huh. I guess it's supposed to... maybe it starts at 9? It's late. That's late. Pam Bondi announced she received a truckload of Epstein documents in SDNY after being misled by the FBI. I was watching Owen Schroyer, and he has a real problem with Pam. The fact that, she's been on like 7 times, and it's like there's no footage of her at the FBI. It's a bad look. Like, she needs to be on Fox less. Like, is she trying to be the new Fox News babe? I don't know. And, if you're on Rumble, we're DarkDox. If you're on BitChute, we're DarkDox. If you're on Facebook, it's Christian X Coffins. If you're on Cash App, wouldn't hurt to scan that and throw me a couple bucks. I'd greatly appreciate it, man. But yeah, that's about, what are we at? 8:49? Already did the ads. Ah, yes, they're. Oh, wait. I knew there was something. Knew it. Representative Anna Paulina Luna tells Matt Gaetz she's not confident about AG Pam Bondi's release of the Epstein client list.
Are you confident as you sit here now that there will be an Epstein client list that the American people will see?
I'm not confident on the Epstein client list because I haven't had the briefing yet from the Department of Justice. I'll know more tomorrow on that. But based on what I'm hearing from the Attorney General, she keeps saying that she is going to release something. So I'm going to take her at her word for that. Now, whether that something is a full list, we have asked for the full list. We have asked for all of the documentation. We are pushing for maximum transparency. But again, we do not hold the classification authority. That is, again, up to the Attorney General. Now, what I can tell you is I'm very optimistic about MLK, RFK, and JFK. And I can also tell you that we are actually told to get information from the CIA Inspector General that there was whistleblowers, that the Inspector General has reports and names of potentially people still alive that actually reported that the CIA, back when JFK was assassinated, never handed over all the evidence to Congress. And so that's an interesting development because, as you know, there's so much information and so many questions surrounding the assassination of JFK, and I think that that helps to answer some of the questions.
Yeah. We need answers. You see?
That speech, he goes, a bunch of dead people when a missile goes in the neighborhood. I mean, we're talking 2 million dead.
Well, think.
Everyone's having glitches today, man. I'm telling you.
It's like, you like cobras or rattlesnakes? Indians, it's like rattlesnakes. Like, you like cobras or rattlesnakes? Well, I just want to stay away from it. But yeah, 50,000 dead, it's terrible. But the left, we're so worried about, Hezbollah getting killed, but they don't give a crap about million plus dead. They don't even want to talk about it. They love it.
Well, let's be clear.
With a nuclear power. The number one nuclear power.
Very few people seem to care, Alex. They don't report on the numbers. The numbers are likely over 1 million now. But think about how.
Well, that's the thing that people say. Why do the Russians have more nukes than us? They lost 26 million people in the World War II. And look, both my grandfathers were in World War II in the European theater. One was a fighter pilot. Didn't do a lot of missions. He never said he's thing malfunctioned, flipped, broke his back, whatever, got better. But my dad's dad was like, did his. 22 missions out of North Africa and Italy, volunteered more missions, did 42 missions, and then became like, the point was, I remember my dad telling me stories his dad told him, the point is that even though we lost whatever, 500,000 troops, whatever, the United States and England, everybody were like bystanders of World War II. World War II was Russians and Germans, 26 million Russians, 24 million Germans, toe to toe, baby.
I like the idea of a Soy Jack pointing at Alex.
Imagine that in the Russian mind. Like, I mean, can you imagine if you lost 26 million people?
Well, and then again, they're using Ukraine as what they've done.
These guys,
when the
they're
truth
gonna
comes
be
out
up
about
until
Ukraine,
like 10
and we'll see how if they even decide to report it. The true situation in Ukraine is that NATO and everybody involved in this money laundering operation asked the Ukrainian men, and Zelensky went along for the ride. They asked the Ukrainian men, they said, you are going to be our human shields. You're going to be our human shields against Russia coming in here and taking control of Ukraine.
Oh, and stay there. You're going to be hosting with me and take over without me after this. But we got Speaker Johnson speaking right now. Let's go ahead and listen to him.
The gentlewoman from Indiana, Mrs. Houchin. The gentleman from Oklahoma, Mr. Hearn. The gentleman from New York, Mr. Jeffries. The gentlewoman from Massachusetts, Miss Clark.
All right, he's just reading out who's in the attendance. And continue.
The forces behind the rat hole that Ukraine was, it was a giant theft of the American taxpayer. And Ukraine was the rat hole. And they asked the Ukrainian men to be human shields so that this operation can continue. That's what they did. And the Ukraine men, because Zelensky lied to them, unwillingly had to go out there and fight and die by the hundreds of thousands. Maybe when it's all said and done, we'll find out it was millions. But that was the whole operation. They asked Ukrainian men, you're going to be the human shields for our money laundering operation. Ukraine.
By the way, I've seen the new conscription videos you showed yesterday. Those are the most insane yet. Like, they have a van.
Been going on for years.
And they pile like 20 people like it's a clown car out.
Yeah, it's been going on for years now. They've been dragging people. So Kiev is basically a bubble of oligarchs. That's why they're living on the high on the hog.
Most corrupt country in the world.
Brand new infrastructure, new clubs, nightlife.
The super hot women are just partying
everywhere. And then the real rich oligarchs all have properties all over Europe. They're hardly ever even in Ukraine. They're all living on the hog in France and other European countries.
Yeah, show the footage we showed today where that shows the back of a van and like 20 guys get piled out like cordwood. I mean, it is the craziest footage. Sorry, Owen, go ahead.
Well, it's just, it's so evil. It's truly evil, and that's why it's been so disgusting watching members of Congress and members of the American press support this war in Ukraine. It was never a war. It was never a war. It was Ukraine as a rat hole for a giant theft of American money. That's what it was, and the Ukrainian men were asked to go and be body shields so Russia could.
God, look at this footage.
Down.
Piling them out like.
It's fucking crazy.
None of these men wanted to go fight in the war, and this is all in like rural Ukraine. This isn't out of Kiev. This isn't out.
And the Russians built 5 defensive lines, haven't even committed their main troops, just waiting to chew them up.
I don't think Europe. I think Europe knows at the end of the day that they can't do anything without America. They know.
Well, you know what the troops are. They admit it's for Russians to use up munitions on. It's literally cannon fodder.
Yeah.
Cannon food.
Yeah. They literally sent hundreds of thousands or maybe 1 million Ukraine men to the slaughter, period. And Zelensky, unwittingly or wittingly, was the one that did it. He was the one that promoted it. He was the one that allowed it to happen. He's going to go down as the worst president in the history of Ukraine.
He's a dictator now. Victor Boot predicted MI6 is going to kill him because they're running it all.
Well, and maybe for Zelensky, he could have had a chance for protection if
should have run to Trump.
If he would have run to Trump. His last hope now is to run to Paris, I think, run to Macron and maybe try to hide out there. But also at the same time, he can't really abandon the war in Ukraine.
Can find another feed of,
otherwise, the
Trump
whole
speech.
operation would be exposed for what it is.
All right, let's go back to the live feed. Let's see what's happening now.
All right. Doing it live.
Nancy Mace blowing kisses to you, Alex.
So, Owen, your predictions for the speech. I think Trump declares our long surrender is over.
Couldn't full screen.
For Zelensky, he could have had a chance for protection if
should have run.
Uh-oh. I think a lot of people are tuning in for this.
Address all of the domestic items, executive orders, etc. It's going to be mostly victory lap, unification speech, probably pretty boilerplate for
American reboot. Well, here's my thing. Imagine the globalists and how pissed they are about this moment. Because we live in this world of instant gratification. People want the next thing. This isn't your football team winning, okay, folks? This is a true cultural revolution, velvet revolution against tyranny. They just fired the head of the New York FBI, and they're going to indict him, I'm told, from our sources. I got that an hour and a half ago.
Needs to be indicted.
Bondi says he has
we need accountability. We need arrest, not retirement.
Wasn't them covering up because they're not. I mean, that's huge, Owen.
Nah, I don't have any faith in Pam Bondi. Don't get me started on that.
Well, I mean, let's expand on that. It's not like they haven't destroyed a bunch of stuff, but the fact they obstructed it is big.
He's like, don't even
I think Pam Bondi, it was either always the plan for her to just be a seat filler at the attorney general position until Trump got his real person in there, because he needed to get somebody confirmed after Matt Gaetz dropped out for all the stuff that went on.
Yeah, when I say Bondi, you think Trump doesn't want to go after the deep state?
No, I don't think it has to do with Trump at all. I think Trump has other agenda items like stopping nuclear war.
No, obviously that's front and getting the economy going. But I mean, Trump does want to go after the deep state.
Yeah, I don't.
Well, Bondi did fire. They made him resign. The head guy that did.
When I look at Pam Bondi and everything she's doing, I don't think about Trump at all. She's doing her own thing. I think Trump is delegating duties. But based off of what I've seen in, let's say, the last 72 hours from Bondi, I have very little to no faith. I think.
So you think Trump's covering up Epstein?
No, again, I separate Bondi from Trump. I don't even think Bondi is Trump's real pick for AG. I think he wanted Matt Gaetz.
Yeah, but I mean, I get the fact that she's in over her head, but you think she's a bad person?
No, I don't think she's corrupt at all.
That's what I'm trying to say, is that people expect her to have all this. she did have him.
She's not making a play to get the Epstein list. She's making a play to get a Fox News job when she's done at Attorney General. That's what I see happening.
What about Kash Patel?
I think Kash Patel's probably doing good work. I think Kash Patel is meant to be there. He's going to be there for the long run. But to me, it just looks like Bondi is a position holder right now, just a seat filler until Trump kind of circles back once he finishes these other agenda items, and then he'll put an Attorney General in there that's maybe going to be a little more serious and think about his words and actions, or her words or actions, better than Pam Bondi has. I don't think.
All the Dems are wearing
I
pink.
tend to agree with you, but my point is they
Wonder if
did
there's any pussy
remove
hats.
this guy, and we've got Maureen Comey that ran the Epstein cover-up, and Kash Patel said there's a criminal investigation of Comey, James Comey, so that's positive.
Small.
Yeah, I'm not saying Pam Bondi is corrupt.
Moving on for Pam Bondi. Kash Patel said there's a criminal investigation of Comey. And this isn't the normal ball game where they're above the law. Trump knows he's got to discredit him and go after him. They're his enemies to try to kill him. I think we're going to see major actions. I think indictments in the next few months.
If the Epstein files even still exist, then we will see them.
Well, let's be clear. A lot of agents have some of it. It's not just files, it's videos.
Well, the videos do exist, 100%. Whether they're in any control of any U.S. government entity, I don't know.
Well, my issue is everybody focuses on Epstein. What about Wiener's laptop?
Yeah.
That's the real control group, the Clinton Foundation. Well, here, let's hear the audio from the State of the Union that's about to happen. Or not State of the Union, Trump's first address to Congress, which he timed perfectly for his tariffs and all this 43 days in.
It kind of is an unofficial State of the Union, though.
Yeah. Well, Trump knew. I mean, he had this planned out. The genius of it is Trump taking over America with our vote. We did it. He takes over the globalist control system. And that's what they never thought he'd do. They never thought he'd understand all that.
It's very complex. He knew it from his first 4 years. Then he saw it operate against him, which probably gave him more experience and knowledge on how to deal with it. But he clearly came in with a list of things to prioritize and to get done. And I think it's stopping World War III, stopping nuclear war, getting better trade deals, addressing the deficit, and then really the best delegation he's done was with Elon Musk. I mean, the work that Doge is doing is like perfect. I mean, I can't think of better execution.
No, absolutely. And that's the thing. All these people want to go, oh, Elon Musk, blah, blah, blah. Or it's a conflict of interest. No one even has Starlink. The other companies have like 50 satellites, 100 satellites. He has like 50,000. And they're like, oh, FAA is using that now. Of course. I mean, it's all falling apart.
Well, they're
using Verizon cell towers to bring planes in.
Stolen Valor, Dick Blumenthal sends a request to have an interview with Big Balls. You can't make this up. And he says, I want to investigate the $400 million contract that Musk got for armored Teslas, the Cybertruck. That deal was signed by Biden. So these...
You're right. And even after it comes out, it was, I guess the TriCaster shut down because they're stuck on me. We got cheap computers here. That's how rich we are, folks. Computer seized up. Yeah. Yeah, no, you're right. It came out weeks ago that Rachel Maddow was wrong, but the deep state's so slow and sloth-like, they're still saying, oh, what's this $400 million? He had the best bid. He's not involved in the bids. And so that's why, folks, he does satellite launch for less than half the price with the lowest level of failure, and he has the best services.
But now he's coming in, even after they flubbed on the Tesla Cybertruck deal, now he's come in and he's gotten the Starlink contract. I think it was 10% of the deal. It might even be like 1%. The deal that Biden signed, the Ethernet deal that Biden signed, which didn't connect a single house.
Now up to $90 billion.
Didn't connect
It was $45 billion. Didn't connect one person, exactly. But notice what Musk did. He just started giving the FAA the Starlinks earlier. By the way, he never got rid of any air traffic controllers. That's another lie.
No, they hired more. I understand people saying, hey, look, you know, anybody that gets this much power, you got to be skeptical of. That's perfectly fair. But nobody's competing with Musk's
But it's not a conflict of interest when no one even has it.
But there is no competition is the problem. There is no competition.
Well, that's what happened 2 weeks ago in the Doge meeting. They go, what about you and SpaceX doing government contracts, which is a small part of it? He goes, look at the contracts. I do it for half the price.
I mean, like less than half the price.
Yeah.
And it actually delivers. They can't.
Oh, there's Melania. Let's go to this. Here we go.
NASA can't even get astronauts out of space.
Yeah, they got to go up and save them from the International Space Station.
Look at that Texan up there, Alex.
Who's the Texan?
You need a shirt like that.
Where's the Texan?
Look at the top of the screen. They just zoomed off on the shirt.
Trump's got good taste in women. You ever met Melania?
No.
Very intimidating. I'm not trying to. It's like, and most women, I've never been intimidated by women. I'm intimidated by her. It was like more intimidating than Trump.
Speaker, the president's cabinet.
The left is literally having a heart attack right now. They tried to kill him. All the lawfare, all of it failed. Jack Smith is going to be indicted. By the way, I predict Comey's indicted, all of it. This isn't games as usual, folks. Everybody keeps thinking we're in the old system. No, we're not. By the way, you know, I've never really liked Marco Rubio, but boy, has he not gotten on Trump's team.
No, Rubio's done good work as the Secretary of State. And I thought Trump did that to get him out of the Senate, but he's actually done a good job.
Look at the Democrats there. I mean, they're just like literally the biggest idiots they could get. They're all puppets for globalists.
There's Jasmine Crockett, Alex. She's a real winner.
Look at Trump's economic advisor right there.
Wait a second. What is that woman? Oh, they cut away. Did you see that one woman Sharpied all over her pink jacket?
Oh,
I wonder if we
man.
can read what she wrote on there.
I would be surprised the Democrats aren't self-harming.
This is live, guys. Happening right now, 9:06 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Today's Tuesday, March 4th, 2025.
Oh, and I'm
DarkDox
really concerned
Digest. I'm
about
your
the
host,
former
Christian
Social
Coffins.
Security
We are
head,
going
Big Guy
overtime to
saying,
cover
with no
Trump's
proof,
address.
Doge is going to crash Social Security. I'm worried about a false flag. Overhead shot on this. Social Security has never missed a payment. Doge actions threaten integrity of benefits, ex-agency head says. And he says it will crash the next 30 to 90 days. That's a false flag waiting to happen. I predicted it before they did this.
Well, depending on how much, is it oversight or how much actual technological control Doge has over it, that would determine my confidence level. But this has been a political football. Alex, they've been tossing around Social Security like a political football for decades. Social Security has been broke. Really, they've had to extend it and refund it.
No, obviously
how
it's a
many different
Ponzi
times?
scheme. They keep us connected. So we're like, okay, we can grow the economy, prop it up. My point is the idea that Trump's going to crash Social Security is a fraud.
No, Social Security was already crashed. It was never meant not to crash. I mean, honestly, it's kind of like if it crashed, it might even be a good thing. And I don't mean
Yeah,
that
I really
because
hope
people
there's
won't
not
get
a false flag.
But that would shut down the giant Ponzi scheme. And maybe that's what they want, Alex. Maybe they want to burn it down to hide all their crimes.
Well, no, that's why they want a big war. No, I don't think that's an option. I think you're right. Separately, we've been live for 1 hour and 7 minutes. This crew, Owen, all of us, are funded by you. We need your support to give you unbiased, pro-human analysis 100%. And
Cash out
my
at
co-hosts, my researchers,
*DarkDox.
we agree on freedom and liberty.
TheAlexJonesStore.com
I don't agree in the moment
/DarkDox.
with everything they're saying. Sometimes they convince me, sometimes I convince them. But you finance all of this. We need your support. This isn't like a Netflix show or an NFL game. This is the real war for the future.
DarkDox.com.
And we have a major effect that reach hundreds of millions of people a day.
You
Please go to
support us,
the
we'll support them.
The
Everyone
widest selection of Patriot
continues
apparel.
to
If
do
you
good
don't know
work.
the adventure of wearing an Infowars shirt or a 1776 shirt or a Trump shirt, if you don't
think,
know that, go get one.
UFO fuel
Over
is
500
cheap?
designs now of T-shirts, ball caps,
Expensive. Every
hoodies.
time he flies by, that's like $3 trillion.
You name it.
So expensive.
It's all there at thealexjonesstore.com. And there's the very best supplements. Shilajit, if you don't know what it does, we've got the best. If you don't know what Irish sea moss does, we've got the best. If you don't know what Optimal Human, the best green drink out there, what it does, we want you to get it and love it because it really works and then want to do it again and again. This isn't entertainment. This isn't another, I know everybody gets learned helplessness or get suspended disbelief. Everything's just entertainment. This is the real world. When you go to the AlexJonesStore.com, yeah, you're funding the operation keeping us on air to fight for you and all our collective future, but you're really doing something for yourself with the products you get and having us fight for you. So go to the AlexJonesStore.com right now, because it's recognized by the bad guys and the good guys that Infowars has been the progenitor, the genesis point, the zenith of so much of what we're seeing. Oh, and how many years you been here now?
2016 was my first year, so I mean, technically, wouldn't that be 10 years? Even though I guess if you counted the days, it'd be probably closer to 9 or 8. But yeah, almost a decade of service here.
And do I tell you what to say?
No. It's been a good experience for me. It's been a learning experience when I see people making judgments about you or saying things about you with total confidence, and I just know it's completely wrong. And so I try to avoid doing that, saying things about people that in confidence that I don't know, because I've seen people just get things horribly wrong about you. But no, I've total creative control over my show. Every once in a while you kind of bust in there like the Kool-Aid man. But that's all for people to see, so they see how that goes down too.
Well, I mean, look, I say more on air than I say in private life. I talk on the air. I live on the air. You get it all here, folks. I'm told Trump's coming in. Let's go to it. I misheard them. They pop in my ear occasionally, not telling me what to say, people say, but they're like, yeah, I should add for the plug. On top of all the sales, Bigley, that's our sponsor. I don't own them. They're great. They do hundreds of shows. One of the top Trump apparel producers based out of Arkansas. On top, and I say I don't control them because I wouldn't do the sales they do, because we're like, oh, God, we made $1 million this month. Oh, God, here's 5%, because the deals... Well, the sales are so good. They just did 25% tonight only till midnight Central Time on top of all the sales. Well, you get that on top of 30% off Atomic Defense or 50% off the other products. We lose money, but whatever. They're helping pay the bills. These deals don't happen every day. 25% off on top of all the sales at the AlexJonesStore.com. And I'm not mad at the crew. We're moving so fast, but like 10 minutes before we go live, an hour and 11 minutes ago, they go, hey, it's 25% off. We're doing it on top of it. I need a piece of paper. I'm not mad. I just like, can I get it? Because people that are in my ear like, do this. Yeah, it's amazing. There's no excuse. You want the Shillogy. You want the Irish sea moss. You want the Optimal Human. By the way, we got a good shipment up, but it's going to sell out in like 5-6 days right now. 50% off, become a subscriber. That means you sign up to get it, cancel any time, they hold it back for you if it sells out, and you get 50% off Optimal Human. Just trust me and get it, folks. I mean, am I not delivering? Just like the information on air is powerful. My God, if I would just get a bigger percentage of people to actually buy the products, you'd see how good they were, and we'd be set. We'd be 24 hours a day. We'd have hundreds of reporters. We're already bigger than Fox News, but with reporter-wise, we would be bigger than bigger than bigger than bigger. It's up to you. This dog hunts when you support us. Get the products. You can't lose. You see, we're defeating the globalist. See if the products are good. Wear an Infowars t-shirt out. I mean, you wear it in most areas of the country, your dinner will probably get bought for you. You wear it in 11th area, you might get stabbed in the back. The point is, it's an adventure to wear an Infowars shirt. TheAlexJonesStore.com. Owen?
Yeah, well, I heard when Joy Reid lost her show, I heard that she had a 30-person crew. It's an hour-long TV show. 30-person crew. Apparently, they were getting numbers, and this is the old rating system. They try to combine it with streaming, but apparently she was getting numbers under 100,000 per show on a cable news network. I mean, that's death.
I saw Megyn Kelly brag. I got 150 million viewers a month on YouTube. That's more than CNN. Routinely, everywhere, we get 300 million viewers a day.
Well, it's
not a month, sweetheart.
You got
It's
attacked
impossible
for
us to
wearing an
even track the
Infowars
numbers
shirt in
'cause we just
Austin.
put everything free to air, and people just pick it up. So we don't even.
I wear
really
them to like
try
SeaWorld and around Orlando all the time,
But
and
yeah,
I get
so
nothing
Trump's
but
about to
love
come in. But I
from
was going to
like
say, Alex, when I saw Joy Reid,
people that
30-person
are,
crew,
you know,
1-hour TV show,
here from out
couldn't
of,
even
the
crack
country.
100K a night on a cable news network. And I'm thinking, here we are at Infowars. We do 3 hours, barely take.
It's a facade. It's all a joke. Trump, the sergeant at arms, is introducing Trump. Here we go. This is it. Like we said, 50. You predicted on your show. I was watching. 15 minutes in, Trump would be. He'd arrive, and he's coming in right now. You're going to hear major announcements. This is going to be amazing. Let's just turn the mics off now and just let this roll. Minimal comments during applauses. Share the link now, because we're waking people up. We're winning, but people need the information. And when Trump's done, myself, Owen, Chase is coming in here. We are going to knock this out of the park. So let's go to the live feed right now. Here we go. Can't kill the rooster. Can you imagine?
Kill the rooster. Well, I love seeing Trump. He goes and he talks to Tim Burchett, Lauren Boebert, Marjorie Taylor Greene. I mean, these are the most hardcore patriots in Congress that he's going and shaking their hand.
And they were the ones that weren't ashamed to promote Infowars. Whatever the system tells you to not support is what they're scared of. Don't support Trump. Don't support Alex Jones. Don't support Infowars. No, that's what they're scared of. Rush and support, there's MTG, what the system hates. Whatever they don't want you to promote that.
We are streaming live.
He's
This
not
is
even. I
happening
love how
right
he's not even
now.
looking to his left. He's not even
Share
looking to
this
his
link.
Look at
Right before his
watermelon
speech,
head.
go ahead and share
Look at
this
Schiff.
link.
He's got a watermelon head.
Pencil neck.
You know, Elon Musk said Adam Schiff committed treason the other day.
Tell us about that.
He doubled down. He said, it looks like Adam Schiff committed treason. And then he said it again, did Adam Schiff commit treason? What does Elon Musk know about Adam Schiff? What was Adam Schiff up to with Ed Buck?
You know, Elon's got all the private DMs, and Adam Schiff never thought Elon Musk would take over Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the roadmap, just like Ivan Recklin's been saying.
Mm-hmm. And did Adam Schiff even win his election, or did they steal it from Steve Garvey? I'm not so sure. I'm not so.
Look, you got the Supreme Court right there. See, this is infectious, though, the freedom, the liberty. No, we want to promote. We want to go to Mars. We want to be successful. We don't want to cut our sons' dicks off. It's real simple. You want to be successful? They're cutting the energy off, folks. We have unlimited energy. We don't need to do this. We don't need to do it. It's so triumphant for Trump, though. The last 9 years, the hell he's gone through, so battle-hardened. This was God, because if he'd have gotten a second term, they wouldn't have stolen it. It wouldn't be this magic. This is so important.
Now he's about to talk to the generals.
This will be a day long remembered. We've seen the end of the globalist. We'll soon see the end of the New World Order. Oh, and no. I met you, I had you on as a guest like 10 years ago. You've been here like 7, 8 years. What is it like put in prison for nothing on January 6th with me there, trying to stop people going in? They said you attacked the Capitol. What is it like? How vindicated, how satisfying is this?
I was explaining this to you the other day, how it's surreal now when we went from where we were at in 2016, becoming the biggest independent broadcast out there, maybe even the biggest, and now everybody sounds like us.
Here we go. President Trump declares 1776 worldwide in his address to Congress 43 days in to the new American Republic rebirth. We're trying to stop World War III, trying to relaunch economies, borders secured.
Look at the
$5 trillion of investment coming in. Democrats shitting themselves. Share the links now, Real Alex Jones. Share the links. Your Paul Revere. That's your power. Do it now. Share the links, Real Alex Jones now. History happening now. They're scared of you. They don't want you to take action. Not a platitude. You hold the keys to destiny. Boy, this is the worst nightmare of tyranny. The devil's biggest trick was convincing the world good didn't exist. Not that he didn't exist. That's his second trick. Jones rules. Point 1. Again, listeners, go to Relox Jones. It's a revolutionary act. Share the link. Say, tune in now. History's happening. Trump declares war on the globalists. Trump launches 1776 Part 2. Do it now. Now. Relox Jones on X. Follow it. Share it. Do it. And now, President Trump.
Speaker Johnson, Vice President Vance, the First Lady of the United States.
Oh, yeah. Lady Liberty. Can't get better than that. That's a real woman, folks, not Big Mike. Melania doesn't have a foot-long anaconda.
Not Latifah Simon.
Members of the United States Congress, thank you very much. And to my fellow citizens, America is back.
America's surrender is over. This will be a day long remembered. We send the end of the globalist. We'll soon see the end of the New World War.
The Democrats have sat the whole time. He hasn't even addressed them either. He hasn't even looked in their direction.
Well, they're pathetic, literal scumbags. There we go.
What was that?
6 weeks ago,
Chant.
I stood beneath the dome of this Capitol and proclaimed the dawn of the golden age of America. From that moment on, it has been nothing but swift and unrelenting action to usher in the greatest and most successful era in the history of our country.
Momentum.
We have accomplished more in 43 days than most administrations accomplished in 4 years.
Surrender is over.
Years, and we are just getting started. I return to this chamber tonight to report that America's momentum is back, our spirit is back, our pride is back, our confidence is back, and the American dream is surging bigger and better than ever before.
I like this
The American dream
thing.
is unstoppable, and our country is on the verge of a comeback, the likes of which the world has never witnessed and perhaps will never witness again. There's never been anything like it. The presidential election of November 5th was a mandate like has not been seen in many decades. We won all 7 swing states, giving us an electoral college victory of 312 votes. We won the popular vote by big numbers and won counties in our country.
Whoa.
And won counties in our country, 2,700 to 525, on a map that reads almost completely red for Republican.
This is rowdy.
Now, for the first time in modern history, More Americans believe that our country is headed in the right direction than the wrong direction. In fact, it's an astonishing record, 27-point swing, the most ever. Likewise, small business optimism saw its single largest one-month gain ever recorded.
Mr. President.
A 41-point jump.
Members are directed to uphold and maintain decorum in the House and to cease
man.
any further
Every
disruptions.
time I get up.
That's your warning. Members are engaging in willful and continuing breach of decorum, and the chair is prepared to direct the Sergeant-at-Arms to restore order to the joint session.
This is crazy. We got a mutiny.
Mr. Green, take your seat. Take your seat, sir. Take your seat.
With his kids, the guy with the cane.
Finding that members continue to engage
is all
in
they
willful
got,
and
folks.
concerted disruption of property.
Not my friend Al Green.
Directs the Sergeant-at-Arms
Yeah,
to
you confronted him many
See,
times.
this is his like 15 minutes of fame.
remove this gentleman from the chamber.
There he goes.
Get the fuck out of our country. All of you. Get the fuck out.
They did it, Alex. I didn't think they'd do it.
Trump's not watching
Get
and
the
bunch of people.
fuck
They're not playing
out.
I didn't think the Democrats would go that far tonight, but there we go.
I knew I
Yeah,
wanted
you
to
called
show
that.
this
I
live
thought
for
that they
a
would
reason.
calm down, but I wonder if anyone else will do this. Look at him
With
pointing
this
his
fucking,
cane.
if you have a cane and you can poke it up in the air, you don't need a fucking cane, dude.
You can't help it, man.
Members are directed to uphold and maintain decorum in the House. Mr. President, you continue.
Thank you. Over the past 6 weeks, I have signed nearly 100 executive orders and taken more than 400 executive actions, a record, to restore common sense, safety, optimism, and wealth all across our wonderful land. The people elected me to do the job, and I'm doing it. In fact, it has been stated by many that the first month of our presidency, it's our presidency, is the most successful in the history of our nation.
Populism. Key.
By many.
That is the definition of populism.
And what makes it even more impressive is that, do you know who number 2 is? George Washington. How about that? How about that? I don't know about that list, but we'll take it. Within hours of taking the oath of office, I declared a national emergency on our southern border, and I deployed the U.S. military and Border Patrol to repel the invasion of our country. And what a job they've done. As a result, illegal border crossings last month were by far the lowest ever.
I love that he's just
recorded,
addressing the Republicans.
94%.
He's not even looking at the Democrats.
Down.
They heard my words and they chose not to come. Much easier that way. In comparison, under Joe Biden,
I'm gonna come.
the worst president in American history, there were hundreds of thousands of illegal crossings a month, and virtually all of them, including murderers, drug dealers, gang members, and people from mental institutions and insane asylums, were released into our country. Who would want to do that? This is my 5th such speech to Congress. And once again, I look at the Democrats in front of me, and I realize there is absolutely nothing I can say to make them happy or to make them stand or smile or applaud. Nothing I can do. I can find a cure to the most devastating disease.
Incredible.
A disease that would wipe out entire nations or announce the answers to the greatest economy in history or the stoppage of crime to the lowest levels ever recorded. And these people sitting right here will not clap, will not stand, and certainly will not cheer for these astronomical achievements.
Because they're enemies of America. This is so historic. Trump calls out the Democrat death cult to their faces. Get it out now. Oh my God.
Be this way.
A lot of you need to be locked up.
I mean, look at those sacks of shit.
A lot of you are a bunch of criminals. Need to be in handcuffs.
Wow. I'm impressed.
Some of you belong under the prison.
So Democrats sitting before me, for just this one night, why not join us in celebrating so many incredible wins for America? For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's
He's putting them on the spot and tell them to stand up. They won't. Watch this. Oh my God, they're going to commit suicide politically even more. They all have like signs. They all
The signs say Musk steals.
Wow. Get a USA chant going. Watch them sit for that.
Every day my administration is fighting to deliver the change America needs to bring a future that America deserves, and we're doing it. This is a time for big dreams and bold action. Upon taking office, I imposed an immediate freeze on all federal hiring, a freeze on all new federal regulations, and a freeze on all foreign aid.
Yeah.
They're just money laundering back to them. They're not too happy right now. Most of their paychecks stopped last month.
I terminated the ridiculous Green New Scam. I withdrew from the unfair Paris Climate Accord.
That's the biggest. That'd kill 2 million people, folks, and all the actuaries. 2 million people saved out there.
Countries were not paying.
Administrative murder.
I withdrew from the corrupt World Health Organization.
Yes.
Yes. Fuck the
and
WHO.
I also withdrew from the anti-American UN Human
Put him
Rights
in prison.
Council.
We need accountability. We need arrests.
Got here 8 years ago, 9 years ago. This would be happening. I mean, this is surreal.
Share this post, guys. I'm going to be on for this whole thing.
They steal elections, and we go through all this. Now, this is how you'd be put in prison.
Totally unaffordable. And importantly, we ended the last administration's insane electric vehicle mandate, saving our auto workers and companies from economic destruction.
Talking about conflict of interest, Elon supported that. He said, my cars are good. I don't need that.
You can't even buy a gas-powered lawnmower in California now, though.
7 states banned...
To unshackle our economy, I have directed
RVs.
that for every 1 new regulation, 10 old regulations must be eliminated, just like I did in my very successful first term.
And look at the Democrats just sitting there. Their party's over. The question is, how do we produce a new party?
Set records on ending unnecessary rules and regulations like no other president had done before.
Get on Pam Bondi for those Epstein
all
docs.
Federal workers to return
Once again,
to
it's
the
not just the
office.
tariffs. They put those rules in so nobody can
want
build
names.
here because the globalists controlling at third-party deals as middlemen. So Trump's opening us up for business, folks. Not just slashing energy prices is moving to do. Not just bringing back $5 trillion in jobs the last 43 days.
And we have ended weaponized government where, as an example, a sitting president is allowed to viciously prosecute his political opponent, like me. How did that work out?
Trump tells the Democrats.
Damn, saw that? Ooh, that look.
Backfired. Tells them to their face their attempt to put him in prison failed. Put that out now. Holy Toledo. Good God.
I've stopped all government
Payback is a bitch, Owen.
and brought back free speech
Good.
in America. It's back.
Now they're attacking the EU censorship. They're attacking Apple. The British are trying to censor Apple and surveil you. Jesus.
And 2 days ago, I signed an order making English the official language of the United States of America.
I think we should just call it American.
It's only the language our Constitution, Bill of Rights, Declaration of Independence are all written in. Hello.
Gulf of America.
Yeah, Gulf of America.
Gulf of America.
We speak
This
American.
is the ballsiest presidential run we've ever. Oh, what's going on here? Hit play.
For a great president, William McKinley, Mount McKinley again.
The left wants the power over names and language. That's what we're all warned of. They want to control language, to control history.
We've ended the tyranny of so-called diversity, equity, and inclusion policies all across the entire federal government and
everybody's
indeed
ditching
the
it.
private sector. and
Disney,
our
BlackRock,
military.
overhead shot, guys.
Yeah, I gotta
BlackRock
say, I mean,
didn't
is
just
this
under
really the
Trump's
hill
ass
Greg
roll
Reese
over.
wants
Say no more
to
DEI
die
today.
on? Like,
They took control of the Panama Canal.
his take is so off on this one, in my opinion.
They just dumped.
And I love Greg Reese.
BlackRock, the DEI deal.
He's just poking the Democrats now.
We believe that whether you are a doctor, an accountant, a lawyer, or an air traffic controller, you should be hired and promoted based on skill and competence, not race or gender.
There's that big lie that they got
Very
rid of air
important.
traffic controllers. That's not true, folks. It's all lies.
Because if
you should be hired based on merit. And the Supreme Court, in a brave and very powerful decision, has allowed us to do so. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh, they tried to intimidate the Supreme Court, all the harassment. How'd that work out?
Poison of critical race theory from our public schools, and I signed an order making
Yeah,
it
weren't they showing Clarence Thomas
the
in them?
official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female.
Oh, that's radical.
That's going to piss them off.
But it is radical because they're at war with reality. They
Death
have to sell you
blow,
something
dude.
Oh,
that's illogical. Their globalist satanic plan. Infowars.com. Tomorrow's news today.
Whoa.
TheAlexShow.com. We need funds. We want to expand.
I also
Fund us.
signed an executive
Did you see
order
Clarence Thomas?
to
I didn't think
ban
I saw him.
Men
That's what I'm saying.
from playing in women's sports.
Beating up women. I saw the new video of them like, is this getting crazy?
This is historic, guys. I mean, this is history happening right here, right now. Every single sentence.
3 years ago, Peyton McNabb was an all-star high school athlete, one of the best, preparing for a future in college sports. But when her girls' volleyball match was invaded by a male, he smashed the ball so hard in Peyton's face, causing traumatic brain injury, partially paralyzing her right side, and ending her athletic career. It was a shot like she's never seen before. She's never seen anything like it. Peyton is here tonight in the gallery, and Peyton, from now on, schools will kick the men off the girls' team, or they will lose all federal funding.
And the left's defending it.
Wow.
I saw that new video that Musk put up this morning where the guy like beats up all the girls at the basketball court.
Yeah, injured 3 girls. I was in Massachusetts.
They don't even let dudes act like that on the court. Like, what is like, oh, I'm a guy against girls, so now I can do all these fouls.
Well, it's just a matter of strength. I mean, they're just...
But it's like that Family Guy.
really
the transgender's looking at porn at the bar, and he goes, excuse me, can't watch porn at the bar. I'm transgender. Okay.
Weightlifting, track and field, swimming, or cycling, where a male recently finished a long-distance race 5 hours and 14 minutes ahead of a woman for a new record by 5 hours. Broke the record by 5 hours. It's demeaning for women, and it's very bad for our country. We're not going to put up with it
Bad for
any
the world.
longer.
It's the left attacking women. That's the
Bad
main
for
target.
women.
Remember Renee's, man. They said women run
A
culture
woman.
because men do what women say.
Person
Women are
who can
dumb.
have
It's that
childs.
Women want to work with the system, so they
Has
present
a
them
vagina.
psychologically. On average, they do it.
Has
And now you're
breasts.
literally being pimped by the globalists.
What I have just described is only a small fraction of the common sense revolution that is now, because of us, sweeping the entire
Oh my God.
world. Common sense has
We should
become a
launch a new
common
podcast
theme,
called The Common Sense
and we
Revolution.
will Never.
Oh, and do it
go
only
back.
once a week.
Never. Never going to let
Common
that
sense.
happen.
No, the common sense revolution. That's a really smart
Among my very
name.
highest priorities is to
Guys,
rescue
put on
our
X,
economy
watch
and get
live.
dramatic and immediate relief.
Trump just announced the common sense revolution.
As you know, we
Hadn't heard that yet.
inherited from the last
Heard common sense,
administration
There was a book
an
once
economic
written,
catastrophe
Common Sense,
and
and
an
the revolution
inflation
followed.
No, but I'm
nightmare.
saying that, yeah. Common sense revolution.
Their policies drove up energy prices,
The common
pushed
sense
up
revolution.
grocery costs, and drove
You
the
heard it here
standards
first.
of life
Want you
out of
poor.
reach for millions and millions of Americans. They've never had anything like it. We suffered the worst inflation in 48 years, but perhaps even in the history of our country. They're not sure. As president, I'm fighting every day to reverse this damage and make America affordable again.
Mic drop.
Joe Biden especially let the price of eggs get out of control. The egg price is out of control, and we're working hard to get it back down. Secretary, do a good job on that. You inherited a total mess from the previous administration. Do a good job.
I like to stand back and just be like, yeah.
A major
Oh, here we
focus
go.
of our fight to defeat inflation is rapidly reducing the cost of energy. The previous administration cut the number of new oil and gas leases by 95%, slowed pipeline construction to a halt, and closed more than 100 power plants. We are opening up many of those power plants right now.
Who's the one chicken red stain?
And frankly, we have never seen anything like it. That's why on my first day in office, I declared a national energy emergency. As you've heard me say many times, we have more liquid gold under our feet than any nation on earth, and by
I want to
far-
explain this, folks.
And now I fully
Energy is the food of machines that get our food. You cut fertilizer, you cut oil, you cut gas, you kill people. That's what the globalists have been doing. Somebody's like, oh, oil, it's dirty. I was told it's bad. It's literally how we operate, okay? And it creates carbon dioxide that's at lower levels than any time before. In the last 100 years, it went up some, but it was the lowest ever before that from the core samples they've done. We need it. I have articles from the London Guardian. Plants don't need carbon dioxide. It's like saying you don't need oxygen. These people are trying to kill the planet. It's like they're space aliens. Go back to Trump.
It will be truly spectacular. It's all
It's like
set
they're
to go.
space
The
aliens.
permitting is gotten. And later this week, I will also take historic action to dramatically expand production of critical minerals and rare earths here in the USA.
That's right. They banned it federally with regulations. No rare earth mineral mining here. Bull crap. It's going down like... I was trying to give a 98% of rare earth mineral control by the globalists. Anybody else tried to mine them anywhere in the world, in the West, they would shut you down.
To further combat inflation, we will not only be reducing the cost of energy, but we'll be ending the flagrant waste of taxpayer dollars.
America's long surrender is over. It's over. You are beaten. It's useless to resist. Don't make me destroy you.
And to that end, I have created the brand new Department of Government Efficiency.
Yeah!
DOGE. Perhaps you've heard of it. Perhaps.
There must be must up there. Yeah.
Which is headed by Elon Musk, who is in the gallery tonight.
Give your heart to them, Elon.
Is that a blonde congresswoman right there? Well, she really likes Elon. That's going to be baby 15 right there. I'm telling you tonight.
He's already looking a little older.
Emails are, I'm going to knock you up, sweetheart. Which is great. What's wrong with that?
Thank you, Elon. He's working very hard.
Well, he
He
has
didn't
5
need
women
this.
pregnant tonight.
He didn't need this. Thank you very much. We appreciate
Elon,
it.
you got a lot
Everybody
of
here,
sunsets
even
to
this
watch, a
side,
lot of pussy
appreciates it, I
to
believe.
eat. We appreciate you, Elon.
They just don't
Is
want
he
to
launching
admit
rockets,
that.
Alex?
Just listen to some of the appalling waste we have already identified.
Elon, thank you for taking
$22
time out of being woman
billion
pregnant.
from HHS to provide free housing and cars for illegal aliens. $45 million for diversity, equity, and inclusion scholarships in Burma. $40 million to improve the social and economic inclusion of sedentary migrants. Nobody knows what that is.
Nobody knows
$8
what that
million
is.
to promote LGBTQI+ in the African nation of Lesotho, which nobody has ever heard of.
That translates what? We're going to inject you with
$60
HIV.
million for indigenous peoples and Afro-Colombian empowerment in Central
Look, how do we kill the black
$60
people?
million.
Teach the men to
$8
bang
million
each other.
for making mice transgender.
Yep. Testing how to put chemicals in the food. That's what that is.
This is real.
Where did I hear that before?
$32 million for a left-wing propaganda operation in Moldova. $10 million for male circumcision in Mozambique. $20 million for the Arab Sesame Street in the Middle East. It's a program. $20 million for a program. $1.9 billion to recently created Decarbonization of Homes Committee, headed up, and we know she's involved. Just at the last moment, the money was passed over by a woman named Stacey Abrams. Have you ever heard of her?
The carbon is you.
A $3.5 million consulting
You're the carbon they want to
contract for
reduce.
lavish fish monitoring. $1.5 million for voter confidence in Liberia. $14 million for social cohesion in Mali. $59 million for
fuck
illegal
does that even
alien
mean?
hotel rooms in New York City.
Your society's not cohesive enough. We need more
He's a real estate developer.
cohesion.
He's done very well.
Why are we spending money on
$250,000
this?
to increase vegan local climate action innovation in Zambia. $42 million for social and behavior change in Uganda. $14 million for improving public procurement in Serbia. $47 million for improving learning outcomes in Asia. Asia's doing very well with learning. I don't know what we're doing. Should use it ourselves. And $101 million for DEI contracts at the Department of Education. The most ever paid, nothing even like it. Under the Trump administration, all of these scams, and they're far worse, but I didn't think it was appropriate to talk about them. They're so bad. Many more have been found out and exposed and swiftly terminated by a group of very intelligent, mostly young people, headed up by Elon, and we appreciate it.
And
We
big
found
balls.
hundreds of billions of dollars of fraud.
And the Democrats have been defending it.
Good job,
This is
Doge.
unlike any address to Congress or State of the Union ever.
Get
Not
back
the
to
50%
work.
Union, but while Trump was anytime he wants to get demanded, it's like, why is Zelensky? Why is Netanyahu there? Why are they addressing
Taken
it?
back the money and reduced our debt to fight inflation and other things. Taking back a lot of that money. We got it just in time. This is just the beginning. The Government Accountability
Decorum.
Office, federal government office, has estimated annual fraud of over $500 billion in our nation, and we are working very hard to stop it. We're going to. We're also identifying shocking levels of incompetence and probable fraud in the Social Security program for our seniors, and that our seniors and people that we love rely on. Believe it or not, government databases list 4.7 million Social Security members from people aged 100 to 109 years old. It lists 3.6 million people from ages 110 to 119. I don't know any of them. I know some people that are rather elderly, but not quite that elderly.
Yeah, Mitch McConnell. Nancy Pelosi.
3.47 million people from ages 120 to 129.
Trump is 78, almost
3.9
79.
million people from
What
ages
a badass.
130 to 139. 3.5 million people from ages 140 to 149. And money is being paid
Trump
to
is
many
the
of them.
ultimate nightmare of the globalists.
And we're
this is
searching
like
right
irrevocable
now.
damage to them.
In fact, Pam, good luck.
Oh, and what about all the
Good
idiots
luck.
that like say this
You're
isn't
gonna
real?
find it.
They're destroying them in
money is
lifetime.
paid
This is like
out
it's
to
happened. It's not a debate.
Because it just keeps getting paid.
Well, how are they going to
and
correct
paid, and
course
nobody
now?
does, and it really hurts.
How can they
Social
defend
Security, it hurts our
140-year-olds
country.
getting Social
1.3 million
Security?
people from
No, and I'm talking about some of the fake right-wingers saying this isn't
150
real. This is destroying the globalists. You can't debate it.
130,000 people, according to the Social
Woo!
Security
Trump
databases,
exposes millions of dead people on
aged
Social Security, and they're still cashing the checks. That's her
160
headline.
years old. We have a healthier country than I thought, Bobby.
Kennedy's there. Kennedy was on the
Ties
news
into
the other
Maha.
saying, we're giving people vitamins for the measles. The measles kills like
Make
5
America
people a year in
healthy
the US that
again.
have like triple comorbidities, cancer, brain damage. It's all bullshit.
Isn't that right, Bobby?
Including, to finish, 1,039 people between the ages of 220 and 229. One person between the age of 240 and 249, and one person is listed at 360 years of age. More than 100 years.
Trump exposes
More
a
than 100
300-year-old on Social Security.
older
There's your
than our
headline.
country.
2 men can have a baby, Owen. Don't say they're not alive.
But we're going to find out where
Fought
that
the
money's
Revolutionary
going.
War as a 100-year-old.
And it's not going to be pretty. By slashing all of the fraud, waste, and theft we can find, we will defeat inflation, bring down mortgage rates, lower car payments and grocery prices, protect our seniors, and put more money in the pockets of American
that clip
families.
they play with all the senators in the same script. They go, they cut the clip 3 seconds of Trump. I will begin to cut prices day one. Begin. They go, he didn't cut prices day one. He never said that, Owen.
Well, he's got time to deliver on the economy.
And today, interest rates took a beautiful drop, big, beautiful drop. It's about time.
Yeah, the Federal Reserve's
and
bowing.
in the near future, I want to do what has not been done in
Notice,
24
everybody
years.
but the EU is bowing in
Balance
England
the federal budget. We're
to
gonna balance
destiny.
Oh, a couple Democrats are cheering for that. How about that?
The Republicans have got a majority, so they get.
Actually, wait, no, that's Anna Paulina Luna.
Yeah, they have.
Yeah,
more
they
than
moved
half,
over
so
there,
there's
so
some
it
With
looks
that
like
goal
more
in mind,
people
we
on
have
that
developed
side
in
are
great
cheering.
detail what we are calling the Gold Card, which goes on
For 800
sale
years,
very,
I've
very
trained
soon.
Jedi, Owen.
For $5 million,
My own counsel I will keep.
we will allow the most successful
midichlorian count is
job-creating
off the
people
charts,
from
Alex.
all over the world to buy a path to U.S. citizenship. It's like the green card, but better and more sophisticated. And
By the way, they
these
call this
people will
bad.
have
New
to pay
Zealand
tax
makes you
in
give
our
$5 million to move
They
there,
won't have to
but
pay
you just have to
tax
invest
from
it.
where
You
they
know,
came.
he wants the money up front. This is a
Money
great
that they've
idea.
made,
Yeah,
we wouldn't
every
wanna do
country
that,
does
but they have to
this.
pay tax, create jobs.
Why didn't we?
They'll also be taking people out of colleges and paying
We
for
want
them so that we
convicted
can keep them
pedophiles
in our
and bank
country instead
robbers
of having
and
them
mental
be
patients. How
forced
dare you
out.
bring somebody in that has $5 million
One at
bucks?
the top school, as an example,
We
being
are
forced out
live.
and
It is 9:52.
not being allowed to stay and create tremendous numbers of jobs and great success for a company out there. So while we take out the criminals, killers, traffickers, and child predators,
Oh, and do you agree this is definitely Trump's best address to Congress?
Our country under the open border policy of
you know,
these
it's the
people,
loosest,
Democrats, the
I would
Biden
say, and I like that.
No, I agree. He doesn't give a shit
border,
anymore.
Insane
Yeah.
policies that you've allowed to destroy our country. We will now bring in brilliant, hardworking, job-creating people. They're going to pay a lot of money, and we're going to reduce our debt with that money.
Yes, we are. The long surrender of America is over.
We have a
This
lot
is
of work to
certainly the
do.
most polarized address. He doesn't even address the Democrats, and they have
Never even
Everything
looks
looking
at
at
him.
him.
Given us a mandate for
They looked at him when he called him out. That was it.
change. For nearly
Welcome,
100 years, the
Megatron.
federal bureaucracy
I am
has grown
Galvatron.
until it has crushed our freedoms, ballooned our deficits, and held back America's potential in every possible way.
Oh, he just looked
The
at him.
nation founded by pioneers and risk takers now drowns under millions and millions of pages of
He knows they tried to kill him. He
regulations
looks at
and
his
debt.
attempted killers in the
Approvals
face.
that should take
Headline.
10 days to get instead take
Trump stares down his would-be killers, the Democratic Party, in the most powerful address of Congress ever.
Not been showing up to work. My administration will reclaim power from this unaccountable bureaucracy, and we will restore true democracy to America again.
Yes. He literally just turned to them.
But we're not a democracy. You see the problem here? We need to fix that.
Oh, look at it.
Republic. It's just a habit. It's habitual.
And any federal bureaucrat who resists this change will be removed from office immediately.
Oh, just like the FBI director of New York?
Because we are draining the swamp. It's very simple.
Oh, it's happening.
And the days of rule by unelected bureaucrats are over.
It's over. No one ever called their bluff. Walk around, find out.
And the next phase of our plan to deliver the greatest economy in history is for this Congress to pass tax cuts for everybody. They're in there. They're waiting for you to vote. And I'm sure that the people on my right, I don't mean the Republican right, but my right here, I'm sure you're going to vote for those tax cuts, because otherwise I don't believe the people will ever vote you into office. So I'm doing you a big favor by telling you that.
Working class don't pay any of the taxes.
But I know this group is going to be voting for the tax.
No tax on tips, baby. Man, they're done. So
they won't even stand for that.
Two-party system. What do we do when the Democratic Party extinguishes itself, which their top advisors now admits happening? We'll talk about that after Trump's done.
I mean, look at this.
But seriously, the Democratic Party, I predict within 10 years, it'll take that much time. It'll be admitted they're extincted.
Tremendous success in our first term with it. A very big part of our plan. We're seeking permanent income tax cuts all across the board. And to get urgently needed relief to Americans hit especially hard by inflation, I'm calling for no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security benefits for our great seniors.
Love the headlines. Foreign governments. Strike back against Trump tariffs. No. Reciprocate. No. You attacked us. We're responding.
And I also want to make interest payments on car loans tax deductible, but only if the car is made in America.
Smart.
We'll save 5,000 casuals. Now you just hired more people. Oh, this is social engineering done the right way, baby.
Smart.
All done. And by the way, we're going to have growth in the auto industry like nobody's ever seen. Plants are opening up all over the place. Deals are being made. Never seen. That's a combination of the election win and tariffs. It's a beautiful word, isn't it? That, along with our other policies, will allow our auto industry to absolutely boom. It's going to boom. Spoke to the majors today, all three, the top people, and they're so excited. In fact, already numerous car companies have announced that they will be building massive automobile plants in America.
Honda.
With Honda just announcing a new plant in Indiana, one of the largest anywhere in the world.
A major chip maker with top chips. $5 trillion in 43 days, Owen, invested. Oh. I'm afraid this battle station will be quite operational when your troops arrive.
Great victory on November 5th, a date which will hopefully go down as one of the most important in the history of our country.
People try to kill him. Oh, he keeps like spiking the ball.
In addition, as part of our tax cuts, we want to cut
Notice
taxes
again the purple
on domestic production and all manufacturing.
The guys in the back are wearing
and just as we did before,
blue.
we will provide 100% expensing. It will be retroactive to January 20th, 2025. And it was one of the main reasons why our tax cuts were so successful in our first term, giving us the most successful economy in the history of our country.
So they lost COVID.
First term. We had a great first term.
So America is back and open for business. No more carbon tax.
If you don't make your product in America, however, under the Trump administration, you will pay a tariff, and in some cases, a rather large one. Other countries have used tariffs against us for decades, and now it's our turn to start using them against those other countries. On average, the European Union, China, Brazil, India, Mexico, and Canada, have you heard of them? And countless other nations charge us tremendously higher tariffs than we charge them. It's very unfair.
The headline is they're retaliating. No, we're retaliating. They did it.
Higher than 100%. China's average tariff on our products is twice what we charge them. And South Korea's average tariff is 4 times higher. Think of that, 4 times higher. And we give so much help militarily and in so many other ways to South Korea, but that's what happens. This is happening by friend and foe. This system is not fair to the United States and never was, and so on April 2nd, I wanted to make it April 1st, but I didn't want to be accused of April Fool's Day. That's not, just one day cost us a lot of money. But we're going to do it in April. I'm a very superstitious person. April 2nd, reciprocal tariffs kick in. And whatever they tariff us, other countries, we will tariff them. That's reciprocal, back and forth. Whatever they tax us, we will tax them.
Makes sense.
If they do non-monetary tariffs to keep us out of their market, then we will do non-monetary barriers to keep them out of our market. There's a lot of that, too. They don't even allow us in their market. We will take in trillions and trillions of dollars and create jobs like we have never seen before. I did it with China, and I did it with others, and the Biden administration couldn't do anything about it because there was so much money they couldn't do anything about it. We have been ripped off for decades by nearly every country on earth, and we will not let that happen any longer. Much has been said over the last 3 months about Mexico and Canada, but we have very large deficits with both of them. But even more importantly, they've allowed fentanyl to come into our country at levels never seen before, killing hundreds of thousands of our citizens and many very young, beautiful people, destroying families. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. They are, in effect, receiving subsidies of hundreds of billions of dollars. We pay subsidies to Canada and to Mexico of hundreds of billions of dollars, and the United States will not be doing that any longer. We're not going to do it any longer. Thanks to our America First policies we're putting into place, we have had $1.7 trillion of new investment in America in just the past few weeks. The combination of the election and our economic policies that people of SoftBank, one of the most brilliant anywhere in the world, announced a $200 billion investment. OpenAI and Oracle, Larry Ellison, announced $500 billion investment, which they wouldn't have done if Kamala had won. Apple announced $500 billion investment. Tim Cook called me. He said, I cannot spend it fast enough. It's going to be much higher than that, I believe. They'll be building their plants here instead of in China. And just yesterday, Taiwan Semiconductor, the biggest in the world, most powerful in the world, has a tremendous amount, 97% of the market, announced a $165 billion investment to build the most powerful chips on earth right here in the USA. And we're not giving them any money. Your CHIPS Act is a horrible, horrible thing. We give hundreds of billions of dollars, and it doesn't mean a thing. They take our money and they don't spend it. All that meant to them, we're giving them no money. All that was important to them was they didn't want to pay the tariffs, so they came and they're building, and many other companies are coming. We don't have to give them money. We just want to protect our businesses and our people. And they will come because they won't have to pay tariffs if they build in America. So it's very amazing. You should get rid of the CHIP Act, and whatever's left over Mr. Speaker, you should use it to reduce debt or any other reason you want to.
If people are asking, well, this is so dramatic, I'm going to give you some big information.
Our new trade policy will also be great for the American farmer. I love the farmer.
Folks, globalism's been to crush you on purpose. They make the deal, get most of the money, and screw you. Why is it so easy for Trump? Because he's not out to get you. That's why it's easy.
Because there's
deliberate
goods that come in
attack
from other countries and companies. They're really in a bad position in so many different ways. They're uninspected. They may be very dirty and disgusting, and they come in and they pour in, and they hurt our American farmers. The tariffs will go on agricultural product coming into America, and our farmers, starting on April 2nd, it may be a little bit of an adjustment period. We had that before when I made the deal with China, $50 billion of purchases, and I said, just
Treasury
bear
Secretary
with me.
said, hey, there's going to be some bumps here, but this is going to work.
Probably
so
have
it's
to
all
bear with
one-sided.
me
There's no way we lose if we
again, and this will
don't
be even
give up.
better. That was
6
great.
months is what
the problem with it
Treasury
was that
Secretary said we
Biden
need.
didn't enforce it. He didn't enforce it. $50 billion of purchases, and we were doing great, but Biden did not enforce it, and it hurt our farmers. But our farmers are going to have a field day right now. So to our farmers, have a lot of fun. I love you too. I love you too. It's all going to happen.
Absolutely. This is so historic. Owen, are you impressed so far?
Yeah, this is definitely an all-time speech from Trump.
And I have also imposed a 25% tariff on foreign aluminum, copper, lumber, and steel, because if we don't have, as an example, steel and lots of other things,
I know
we
the
don't
inside
have
baseball.
a
He's
military,
involved in
and
everything,
frankly,
but now he does it
just won't
himself.
have a country very long.
He probably wrote this over the last week
Here
on top of
today
everything he
is
does.
a proud American steelworker, fantastic person.
Because here, it's all Trump
from
talk. He's reading off
Decatur,
teleprompter.
Alabama.
He wrote this.
Jeff Denard has been working at the same steel plant for 27 years in a job that has allowed him to serve as the captain
Imagine writing
of
your
his
own
local
speech
volunteer
with his
fire
schedule.
department,
I mean, folks, this
raised
is
7
insane.
children with his beautiful wife, Nicole, and over the years provide a loving home for more than 40 foster children. So great, Jeff.
He didn't give up, man. And good overpowers evil if you don't give up.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Jeff.
Look how hometown,
Stories
whether
like
they're black
Jeff's
or white, the
remind us
Republicans
that
look.
tariffs are
They cut
not
the
just
Democrats look
about
like
protecting
demons.
American jobs. They're about protecting the
Skeksis.
soul of our
Skeksis.
country. Tariffs are about making America rich again and making America great again, and it's happening, and it will happen rather quickly. There'll be a little disturbance, but we're okay with that.
Look,
it won't be much.
Listen to me.
No, you're not. Oh.
Yeah, he pointed at the Democrats. Trump knows they're trying to short the market. He keeps warning people. I think they crash the market the next month, Owen.
Jeff, I want to thank you very much. And I also want to recognize another person who has devoted herself to foster care community. She works so hard on it.
Seriously,
A very
guys, I've
lovely
had all these
person,
economists on, and myself and others. They're planning to crash the economy and thinking you'll give up. It's not going to work. It'll spike up even bigger after. Owen? Trump just warned 3 times in a row there's going to be a disturbance. He knows what they're about to do.
Yeah, well, just like anything in life, there's going to be a challenge. There's going to be a period of pain before.
Well, yeah, when you're in a fight, even though you're kicking a guy's ass, he still punches you.
It is 10:07 p.m. We are still
future leaders
live
as
with
they
the president
enter
and
the workforce.
Infowars.
Our First Lady is joined by 2 impressive young women, very impressive. Haley Ferguson, who benefited from the First Lady's Fostering the Future initiative.
Feels good, man.
And is poised to complete her education and become a teacher. And Elliston Berry, who became a victim of an illicit deepfake image produced by a peer. With Elliston's help, the Senate just passed the Take It Down Act, and this is so important. Thank you very much, John. John Thune, thank you. Stand up, John. Thank you, John. Thank you all very much. Thank you. And thank you to John Thune and the Senate. Great job. To criminalize the publication of such images online is terrible, terrible thing. And once it passes the House, I look forward to signing that bill into law. Thank you. And I'm going to use that bill for myself, too, if you don't mind. Because nobody gets treated worse than I do online. Nobody.
Oh, that's not anti-free speech, but the New York bill put you in 4 years in prison for a terror flag. It's very dangerous. The Democrats that are censors, we don't want that.
Protecting Americans' children, no step is more crucial than securing America's borders. Over the past 4 years, 21 million people poured into the United States. Many of them were murderers, human traffickers, gang members, and other criminals from the streets of dangerous cities.
Trump calls out Democrats for bringing in human traffickers and murderers. Boom.
Joe Biden's insane and very dangerous open border policies. They are now strongly embedded in our country, but we are getting them out and getting them out fast.
Yes. CIA drug dealers. Trump's cut it all off. It's a real revolution, folks. He just is getting rid of the sanctions with Russia. It's all ending. It's real. This is damn real.
And I want to thank Tom Homan and Christy. I want to thank you and Paul of Border Patrol. I want to thank you. What a job they've all done.
Incredible.
Everybody, Border Patrol, ICE. Well, law enforcement in general is incredible. We have to take care of our law enforcement. Have to.
Yes. Yeah, those federal workers aren't laying around.
Last year, a brilliant 22-year-old nursing student named Laken Riley, the best in her class, admired by everybody, went out for a jog on the campus of the University of Georgia. That morning, Laken was viciously attacked, assaulted, beaten, brutalized, and horrifically murdered. Laken was stolen from us by a savage illegal alien.
Because she fought for her life.
Member who was arrested while trespassing across Biden's open southern border.
But she kept her honor.
And then set loose into the United States under the heartless policies of that failed administration. It was indeed a failed administration.
On purpose.
He had then been arrested and released.
That's my criticism. Stop saying it was incompetence. It's on purpose.
Before ending the life of this beautiful young angel.
Yeah, I'd say he could be addressing Biden directly, but he's
Laken's
asleep.
Beloved mother, Allison, and her sister,
Words matter.
Lauren.
Or he's raping a kid. There's the family. The left hates this. They want to cover up the illegal aliens murdering people all over the world in the West. They do not like this. Look at those poor people. God bless them. Wow. Oh, they don't like this, too, they going. Trump recognizes victims of illegal alien murder, committing heresy against the leftist death cult. There's your headline.
Last year, I told Laken's grieving parents that we would ensure their daughter would not have died in vain. That's why the very first bill I signed into law as your 47th president mandates the detention of all dangerous criminal aliens who threaten public safety. It's a very strong, powerful act.
And the Democrats don't support it.
They all voted against it. Every single one voted against it.
They're the Democrats scum. Their days
It's called the Laken-Riley Act. So Allison and Lauren, America will never, ever forget our beautiful Laken Hope Riley.
God bless her. Filthy Democrats.
Thank you very much. Since taking office, my administration has launched the most sweeping border and immigration crackdown.
Is this not day and night with Trump, though? I mean, it's the policies, the energy. It's just, imagine the left. What are they thinking right now?
Ever recorded.
They don't know. They don't know what to do. They've become completely irrelevant. All they have is lies and propaganda.
And blowing up Tesla dealerships.
And who knows what else next.
Well, they're going to try to attack the Social Security Network. They're going to try to bring
This is dangerous.
They've said it. I
The
predicted it.
media
Now they're doing
and our
it.
friends in the Democrat Party kept saying we needed new legislation. We must have legislation to secure the border. But it turned out that all we really needed was a new president.
Yeah, all the laws are there. Man, Trump calls the Democrats out for opening the border and claiming they need legislation. Wow. Man, he's spiking football a lot.
They're probably holding up some signs right now. They got some signs they're holding up, I'm sure.
Thank you. Joe Biden didn't just open our borders, he flew illegal aliens over them to overwhelm our schools, hospitals, and communities throughout the country.
Including kidnapped kids.
Entire towns like Aurora, Colorado, and Springfield, Ohio, buckled under the weight of the migrant occupation and corruption like nobody's ever seen before.
Migrant
Beautiful towns
occupation.
Destroyed.
You know,
Now,
Steve
just
Miller
as
wrote
I
that.
promised
It's true.
in my inaugural address,
That's the new term,
we are
Owen, migrant
achieving the
occupation.
great
Largest invasion.
Trump
of
calls
America.
out the largest invasion in U.S. history, the migrant occupation. Fire that out. Holy shit. I mean, it's all true.
But there's still is much work to be
The
done.
common sense
Here
revolution.
tonight is
These
a
are all our
woman
terms now.
I have gotten to know.
See how we don't have to come up with them anymore, Owen?
Alexis
It's crazy.
Mengary
Like, I'm used to us
from
being the
Houston.
guys. This is
Wonderful
refreshing.
woman. Last June, Alexis's 12-year-old daughter, her precious Jocelyn, walked to a nearby convenience store.
Oh, my God.
She was kidnapped, tied up, assaulted for 2 hours under a bridge, and horrifically murdered.
Oh.
Arrested and charged with this heinous crime are two illegal alien monsters from Venezuela, released into America by the last administration through their ridiculous open border.
God, Trump's taking
The death
gloves
of this
off. He's
beautiful
just
12-year-old
destroying
girl and the agony of her mother
Even in their
and
fake
family
polls, what he goes up 10
touched
points
our
tomorrow?
entire nation greatly.
Trump calls out
Alexis,
Democrats
I
for allowing the
promised
rape and murder of 12-year-old.
We would always remember your daughter, your magnificent daughter. And
Jesus Christ.
earlier tonight, I signed an order keeping my word to you.
This is why I
One thing I
voted
have
for this
learned about
man.
Jocelyn is that she loved
All of
animals
you
so
lefties
much.
that
She
think
loved
I've
nature.
just lost my mind.
Across Galveston
Anybody kills
Bay,
my daughter,
from
you're
where
dead.
Jocelyn lived in Houston,
You
you will
gotta
find
protect
a
your children.
magnificent national wildlife refuge, a pristine, peaceful, 34,000-acre sanctuary for all of God's
Statistics don't
creatures
lie.
on the edge of the Gulf of America.
Dead children
Alexis,
don't lie.
moments ago, I formally renamed that refuge in loving memory of your
I didn't know this.
beautiful daughter, Jocelyn. So, Mr. Vice President, if you would, may I have the order?
Wow. So not only do they want to hide people they murder, but hundreds of thousands, he's now renaming things after murdered Americans by illegal aliens. This is genius. Oh, and this is revolutionary.
Yeah, he pointed at the Democrats and said human traffickers.
Oh, they murdered that girl. I don't read about the story, but they just renamed it Wildlife Refuge. On the
This is
Gulf of Mexico,
fantastic,
Gulf of
ladies and gentlemen.
America with that. Oh, my God. This is devastating. Man, he is just, wow. Using all their name changes against him.
Thank you very much.
There's her mother.
All three savages charged with Jocelyn and Lakin's murders were members of the Venezuelan prison gang, the toughest gang, they say, in the world, known as Tren de Aragua. 2 weeks ago, I officially
says it better
designated
than
this
me.
gang, along with MS-13 and the bloodthirsty Mexican drug cartels, as foreign terrorist organizations.
Common sense.
So Trump declares drug gangs that tortured and raped and murdered 12-year-old girl terrorist organization, renames the National Wildlife Refuge after her. Wow. Man, they cannot. Oh, my God.
They
This
are
is
now
devastating.
officially in the same category as ISIS, and that's not good for them. Countless thousands of these terrorists were welcomed into the U.S. by the Biden administration. But now every last one will be rounded up and forcibly removed from our country, or, if they're too dangerous, put in jails, standing trial in this country, because we don't want them to come back ever. With us this evening is a
Execute
warrior
'em.
on the front lines of that battle, Border Patrol Agent Roberto Ortiz. Great guy.
By the way, all my sources at the border tell me the cartels have
Hey, he's
backed
not
off.
white.
They're not even there anymore.
Yeah, because they know.
I thought Trump was racist.
The Marine Expeditionary Group, Delta Force, and the Navy SEALs were orders to kill everybody. They make one move, it's all loaded, total destruction.
He has
Trump's
good
got
energy.
like 30,000 troops, I'm told, that's
January,
on the border right now
Roberto
with weapons.
and another agent were patrolling by the Rio Grande near an area known as Cartel Island. Doesn't sound too nice to me. When heavily armed gunmen started shooting at them, Roberto saw that his partner was totally exposed, at great danger, and he leapt into action, returning fire.
Yeah, I found that footage from a month
providing
ago.
crucial seconds
That big
for
gun
his
battle, that's
fellow
amazing.
agent to
South Texas.
seek safety. Just
So
and
Texas
just
Border Patrol
barely.
attacked him a month ago.
I have some of the prints of that event, and it was not good. Agent Ortiz, we salute you for your great courage and for your line of fire that you took and for the bravery that you showed. We honor you, and we will always honor you. Thank you, Roberto, very much.
Yeah, that footage is incredible. They like shoot all the vehicles up and you start shooting back at them. That's amazing. Well, that's the guy that was, that's amazing. Democrats are fucked.
Thank you, Roberto. And I actually got to know him on my many calls to the border. He's a great, great gentleman. The territory to the immediate south of our border is now dominated entirely by criminal cartels that murder, rape, torture, and exercise total control. They have total control over a whole nation, posing a grave threat to our national security. The cartels are waging war in America, and it's time for
the
America
cartels know
to
that
wage
Trump's
war
going to
on the
invade
cartels.
Mexico if they do anything. Just, I have that from high-level sources. So, and that's a real threat to the country. So that's what we're all supporting. Oh, and what do you think? Halls of Montezuma?
Well, the cartels.
You know where that song comes from, right?
The cartels run most Mexican politics. You know.
I mean, you know the song. Marine Corps. From the halls of Montezuma to the halls of Tripoli.
Handed over to
The Marines
us
have been there before.
29 of the biggest cartel leaders in their country.
And Blackjack
That has
Pershing,
never happened
World War I. You know,
before.
Mexico
They wanna
side up with
make us
Germany and
happy.
attacked us. Did you know about that?
First time ever.
Attacked Texas.
We got a long
Okay,
history of
Alex.
Mexico.
They attacked us
But
in
we
World War
need
I.
Mexico and Canada to do much more than they've done, and they have to stop the fentanyl and drugs pouring into the USA. They're going to stop it. I have sent Congress a
But for folks who don't know
detailed
history,
funding
they're hearing
request
this. I know what
laying
Trump's
out
saying. This is
exactly
like
how
big
we will
time.
eliminate these threats to protect our homeland and complete the largest deportation operation in American
Homeland.
history, larger even than current record holder President Dwight D. Eisenhower, a moderate man, but someone who believed very strongly in borders. Americans expect Congress to send me this funding without delay so I can sign it into law. So, Mr. Speaker, John Thune, both of you, I hope you're going to be able to do
Yeah,
that.
they call it
Mr.
racist. They
Speaker.
turn it
Thank
into
you.
slang. It means you
Mr.
just swim over
Leader,
the river,
thank
your
you.
back's
Thank
wet.
you
It was
very
Operation
much.
Wetback.
And let's get it to me. I'll sign it so fast, you won't even believe
It's
it.
turned into a racist term. It doesn't mean that. It means somebody's like wet from the river. And they're not Mexicans now. It's like Islamists, everybody.
And as we reclaim our sovereignty, we must also bring back law and order to our cities and towns.
Well, the left doesn't like that. Trump declares war on the left's defunding of police. Wait for that.
In recent years, our justice system has been turned upside down by radical left lunatics.
Points the left
Many
out.
jurisdictions virtually ceased enforcing the law
Defunding.
against dangerous repeat offenders while weaponizing law enforcement against political opponents like me. My administration has acted swiftly and decisively to restore fair, equal, and impartial justice under the constitutional rule of law, starting at the FBI and
Trump
the
declares war on
DOJ.
globalist lawfare.
Pam,
Boom.
good luck. Cash, wherever you may be, good luck. Good luck. Pam Bondi,
Pam Bondi.
good luck. So
She
important.
needs some help.
Going to do a great job. Cash, thank you.
We need to get his files.
Thank you, Cash.
We need arrests, not retirement. Arrest these guys.
They've already started very strong. They're going to do a fantastic job. You're going to be very proud of them.
Oh, yeah. Indictments are coming.
We're also
Watch.
once again giving
Ain't
our
the
police
same ball
officers
game,
the
folks.
support, protection, and respect.
Tried to kill him.
They
Good luck
so
now.
Arrest this guy too.
dearly deserve.
He's
They
dead,
have
too.
to get it. They have
And your
such
little
a
dog,
hard,
too.
dangerous job, but we're going to make it less dangerous. The problem is the bad guys don't respect the law, but they're starting to respect it, and they soon will respect it. This also includes our great fire departments throughout the country. Our firemen and women are unbelievable people, and we'll never forget them. And besides that, they voted for me in record numbers, so I have no choice.
This is such a nightmare, honestly. This is real.
1 year ago this month, 31-year-old New York police officer Jonathan Diller, unbelievably wonderful person and a great officer, was gunned down at a traffic stop on Long Island. I went to his funeral. The vicious criminal charged with his murder had 21 prior arrests, and they were rough arrests, too. He was a real bad one. The thug in the seat next to him had 14 prior arrests and went by the name of Killer. He was Killer. He killed other people, they say, a lot of them. I attended Officer Diller's service, and when I met his wife and one-year-old son, Ryan, it was very inspirational, actually. His widow's name is Stephanie, and she is here tonight. Stephanie, thank you very much, Stephanie. Thank you very much. Stephanie, we're going to make sure that Ryan knows his dad was a true hero, New York's finest, and we're going to get these cold-blooded killers and repeat offenders off our streets, and we're going to do it fast. Got to stop it. They get out with 28 arrests. They push people into subway trains. They hit people over the head, back of the head with baseball bats. We got to get them out of here. I've already signed an executive order requiring a mandatory death penalty for anyone who murders a police officer. And tonight I'm asking Congress to pass
Woo! Death penalties! Yeah! We're back, baby. Melania standing up. That little look back and smile.
I'm also asking for a new crime bill getting tough on repeat offenders while enhancing protections for America's police officers so they can do their jobs without fear of their lives being totally destroyed. They don't want to be killed. We're not going to let them be killed. Joining us in the gallery tonight is a young man who truly loves our police. His name is DJ Daniel. He is 13 years old. It has to be for more than just the police, though. It has to be for, like, rapists. Pedophiles.
And again, folks, not the police are perfect. The left wanted to take control, then to make them a weapon against us. Trump's taking them back. Give them a good constitutional mission.
Touching.
Right there. That kid's story right there is a pretty incredible one. He's got that scar on his head from a brain surgery.
Yeah.
That's an incredible story right there.
He's like, all right.
But in 2018, DJ was diagnosed with brain cancer. The doctors gave him 5 months at most to live. That was more than 6 years ago.
Go DJ, brother. So much hope. And again, that's what we need.
Yeah,
It's
stand
real.
up against
Do
that.
anything.
What do I do? Just wait.
Since that time, DJ and his dad have been on a quest to make his dream come true, and DJ has been sworn in as an honorary law enforcement officer actually a number of times. The police love him. The police departments love him. And tonight, DJ, we're going to do you the biggest honor of them all. I am asking our new Secret Service Director, Sean Curran, to officially make you an agent of the United States Secret Service.
Trump is organizing everybody. We are on a massive attack. Make no mistake.
Cute. You need this kind of stuff, you know? It softens the blow of the death penalties that are coming.
Look at that.
Oh, the left hates this.
I mean, how can you not love that?
The left hates this real bad.
That is just awesome.
He's like, so let's talk about benefits. That's good.
I bet
What's
he's
the
like,
base
I will
salary?
defend President Trump with my life.
Thank you, DJ. DJ's doctors believe his cancer likely came from a chemical he was exposed to when he was younger. Since 1975, rates of child cancer have increased by more than 40%.
Good segue.
That's Maha stuff now.
Reversing this trend is one of the top priorities for our new presidential commission to make America healthy again, chaired by our new Secretary of Health and Human Services, Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
Trump declares war on cancer. Trump announces plan to find why cancer's exploded, which is on purpose by the globalists. That's I'm calling this. It's all on purpose.
Let's make the death penalty great again.
These people. Wow, this is hard.
The good will be healthy and the evil will be dead.
The globalists are in deep trouble.
With the name Kennedy, you would have thought everybody over here would have been cheering.
No, they're not.
How quickly they forget.
Kennedy's got a soul. He just joined the real team.
Our goal is to
They haven't cheered
get
for Laken Riley,
toxins out of
Jocelyn
our
Nungary, the
environment,
firefighters,
poisons
that
out
little
of
boy.
our
They haven't cheered for
food
anybody.
supply, and keep our children
Oh,
healthy
that's the big
and
takeaway.
strong. As an example,
Headline: Democrats refuse to cheer for black boy who survived cancer. Holy shit. Democrats refuse to cheer for
1 in 10,000.
survivors of
And now
murder
it's
attempts.
1
Oh
in
my God.
36.
Jesus.
There's something wrong. 1 in 36. Think of that. So we're going to find out what it is, and there's nobody better than Bobby and all of
Trump
the people
announces we're going to
that are
find out the
working
cause of
with you
autism. Wow.
to figure out what is going on.
Wow.
Okay, Bobby, good luck. It's a very important job. Thank you.
And Kenny said, I'm going to total power. This is like so real, folks.
Go get him.
Trying to
This
kill
is what we
Trump.
voted for, guys.
How'd it work out messing
Nothing's
with us,
perfect.
Homie?
We're not
Putting you in
perfect.
prison
I'm
doing
not
it to me.
perfect. You're not perfect.
Still here,
My
live tonight.
administration
Didn't work
is
too well,
also
did it?
working
March
to
4th,
protect our
2025.
children from toxic ideologies in our schools. A few
Can you
years
imagine
ago,
if Kamala
January,
won?
Littlejohn and her husband discovered that their daughter's school had secretly socially transitioned their 13-year-old little girl.
Oh my God.
Teachers and administrators conspired to deceive January and her husband while encouraging her daughter to use a new name.
Yeah, anyone
and
that's lying
pronouns.
to parents and
They,
encouraging
them
children to lie to their
pronoun,
parents.
all without telling January, who is here tonight and is now a courageous
chipper.
advocate
Death
against
penalty.
this form of child abuse. January, thank you.
Pedophilia. They'll just rape you. They cut your genitals
Thank
off.
you very much.
And did
Child
you see it
abuse.
came out in Massachusetts asked all 5-year-olds
Under
when they go
18,
for medical poll
it's
without the parents,
abuse.
are you gay? Are you a bisexual?
Because
Overhead
over
shot guy
18,
showed
no one
us.
can do it to you.
This is
It's
what
crime.
Massachusetts
If you did, do it against your
must
will.
put it out. This was asked of children. Stop the madness.
Children
Stories like
cannot
this are why,
consent.
shortly after
It's
taking
about
office, I
consent.
signed an executive order banning public schools from indoctrinating our children with transgender ideology.
Yeah,
Check a
pedophile
box.
garbage. Wow.
They're like, oh, this is fun.
Wow. Get this
Yeah,
out.
get rid of
Wow.
that shit.
Trump exposes government schools, private schools as well.
I also signed an order to cut off all taxpayer funding to any institution that engages in the sexual mutilation of our youth.
Yes.
Trump cuts
We are
off federal
live.
funds to those
DarkDox
mutilating children,
Digest, baby.
exposes
Share this
the
link.
transgender cult as a pedophile cult. Incredible.
And now I want Congress to pass a bill permanently banning and criminalizing sex changes on children and forever ending the lie that any child is trapped in the wrong body. This is a big lie.
Absolutely. Wow.
Yeah, that's great.
Oh, and how
Big.
could anybody on the right-wing claim Trump's not for real. How could they not support this?
Every child in America.
I'm glad he called
is
it
that you are
child
perfect
abuse.
Exactly the
what it
way
is.
God made you.
Extreme child abuse. Your kid will want to say you're a superhero. They'll play a role playing. They secretly get you to role play when you're 5. They put you in a database. By 7, they start taking you away. By 10, they take you away and then cut your body parts off. I mean,
Because we're getting wokeness out of our schools and out of our military, and it's already out, and it's out of our society. We don't want it. Wokeness is trouble. Wokeness is bad. It's
trouble.
gone. It's gone. And we feel so much better for it. don't we?
Breaking, Trump says
Don't we feel
wokeness is
better?
gone. The satanic war on our children is over. Yeah, stop letting it intimidate
Our
you.
service members won't be activists and ideologues. They will be fighters and warriors. They will fight for our country.
Gotta
And
fight.
Pete, congratulations, Secretary of
I was
Defense.
saying Friday was the craziest thing I ever saw. This is rivaling it right now, Owens. I mean,
Well, and now it clears so much room on the field for Republican attorney generals and governors and mayors to start
And he's
taking
not big
action.
into the woke movement, I can tell you. I know him well.
Well,
I am pleased to report that in January, the U.S. Army had its single best recruiting month in 15
I don't do this
years.
about us, but I just want to say I'm the most satisfied I've been in my life, 51 years. I'm so proud of you, Owen, and the crew. I'm so proud of the supporters, the listeners.
Who's this guy?
This is incredible. I mean, this is tide turning, Owen.
Pete Hegseth with his American
And
flag,
you know, it was just
always
a few
sporting
months
it.
ago where the results were exactly the opposite. We couldn't recruit anywhere. We couldn't recruit. Now we're having the best results just about that we've ever had. What a tremendous turnaround.
Yeah, because they knew our military was occupied
It's
by
really
globalists.
a beautiful thing to see.
Breaking, after
People
Trump
love our
ends
country
occupation
again.
U.S.
It's very
military,
simple.
record recruiting.
They love our country, and they love being in our military again. So it's a great thing, and thank you very much. Great job. Thank you.
Democrats refuse to stand up for our military getting our recruiting.
Yeah,
We're joined tonight by a young man, Jason
Headlines,
Hartley,
Democrats
who knows the
refuse
weight
to
of that
applaud record military recruiting.
father, grandfather, and great-grandfather all wore the uniform. Jason tragically lost his dad, who was also a Los Angeles County Sheriff's deputy when he was just a boy, and now he wants to carry on the family legacy of service. Jason is a senior in high school, a 6-letter varsity athlete, a really good athlete, they say, a brilliant student with a 4.46, that's good, GPA. And his greatest dream is to attend the U.S. Military Academy at West Point.
Now back in our hands. The plans you were facing will soon be back in our hands. America was the hottest thing forever in the world. And the globalists hijacked it. We just took it back
on.
on.
Big deal getting in. That's our
Stealing
hard
our
one
money
to
for
get
years.
into. But I'm pleased to inform you that your application has been accepted. You
But
will
more
soon be
importantly, they
joining the
hijacked our
Corps of
culture. What I'm saying, Owen, is we grabbed it back. And all the bullying is failing, all the intimidation. No one listens to them anymore. What do you expect to let them do next, Owen? Everything's blowing in their face.
They're going to need to find themselves a flotation device so they don't drown in all their tears.
Yeah, but they're going to try to crash the Social Security system.
They're going to do something.
That's their plan. And World War III, man. You know, Europe is going to try to keep fighting Russia.
Thank you. Jason, you're going to be on the long gray line, Jason. As Commander-in-Chief, my focus is on building the most powerful military of the future. As a first step, I'm asking Congress to fund a state-of-the-art Golden Dome missile defense shield to protect our homeland, all made in the USA.
Beautiful golden domes. Trump announces beautiful golden dome missile
I've never
defense
seen
system to
domes
protect
like
our
these.
ICBMs.
Pristine
All those beautiful
dome.
gold domes.
Wanted
We would
to
live
do it
under the
long ago,
dome.
but the
I don't
technology
know.
just wasn't there, not
You
even
look into
close.
this
But now we
Golden
have the
Dome
technology. It's
technology.
incredible, actually.
We have the technology.
You guys
And
like
other
golden
places
domes?
they have it. Israel has it. Other places
Golden
have it.
domes,
And the United
golden
States should have it
domes.
too. Right, Tim? Right? they should have it too. So I want to thank you. But it's a very, very important. This is a very dangerous world. We should have it. We want to be protected, and we're going to protect our citizens like never before. To boost our defense industrial base, we are also going to resurrect the American shipbuilding industry, including commercial shipbuilding and military shipbuilding. And for that purpose, I am announcing tonight that we will create a new Office of Shipbuilding in the White House and offer special tax incentives to bring this industry home to America where it belongs. We used to make so many ships. We don't make them anymore very much, but we're going to make them very fast, very soon. It will have a huge impact. To further enhance our national security,
do it right.
My administration will be reclaiming the Panama Canal.
Knew that was coming.
And we've already started doing it.
Oh, that's right. Now, BlackRock's globalists, but they pledged allegiance and said no DEI today.
Just today, a large American
Yeah, I don't
company
trust BlackRock.
announced they are buying both ports around the Panama Canal.
I noticed a month ago, Panama said they would sell it to us, but it did to the company.
Canal and a couple of other canals.
Show this.
The Panama Canal was built by Americans for Americans, not for others, but others could use it. But it was built at tremendous cost of American blood and treasure. 38,000 workers died building the Panama Canal.
If you
They died
support
of
this
malaria.
work,
They
please,
died of snake bites and mosquitoes. Not a nice
/DarkDox.
place to work. They paid them very highly to
Pick
go
up a
there,
hat,
knowing
pick
there
up a
was a
dagger.
25% chance that they would die.
Yeah, the French failed.
The most
giving
expensive
away
project also that was ever built in our
Jeeps.
count's history.
Yeah, the
if you
French
bring it
built
up to
10%.
modern
We
day
built it all in
costs.
half the time.
It was given away by the Carter administration for $1. But that agreement has been violated very severely. We didn't give it to
Breaking.
China.
Trump announces the United States is retaking the Panama Canal that we built. An historic speech. Fire weapons. The long surrender's over, bitches. And again, they
I like the
collapse
point.
American power, but use our infrastructure to take over the world. Now we've taken control of it.
And we have Marco Rubio in charge. Good luck, Marco. Now, we know who to blame if anything goes wrong. Marco's been amazing, and he's going to do a great job. Think of it. He got 100 votes.
Little double-sided
He
warning,
was
though,
approved
Marco.
with actually 99, but the 100th was this gentleman.
He needs
and
to
I feel
unbutton
very
his
certain.
jacket
So
when he
let's assume
sits
he got
down.
100
That's a
votes.
big part of it.
And I'm either very,
If you're gonna
very
sit
happy
down,
about
you
that or
unbutton
I'm
your
very
jacket
concerned
if
about
you're
it.
a guy. Just so you know.
But he's already
See,
proven. I mean,
he's
he's
like, Marco, I'm watching you.
respected by everybody, and we appreciate you voting for Marco.
Marco's really
He's gonna
smart,
do
but he's been a
fantastic
globalist.
job. Thank you.
Trump just twice said, I'm watching you. And Rubio knows
He's
it.
doing a great job.
This is next level, man. God, I love it. See, we know everything before he says it. We're dialed in, folks. We are the Infowar. We brought this
And I
thing.
also have a message tonight for the incredible people
You just
of
got that
Greenland.
right. Twice he just said, Marco, you better watch it.
Yeah, you'd probably have Marco on a short leash. Your own future. And if you choose, we welcome you into the United States of America. We need Greenland for national security and even international security, and we're working with everybody involved to try and get it. But we need it really for international world security. And
I love
I
how
think
Denmark
we're
suddenly
gonna
goes,
get
we
it.
secretly own it.
One
They
way
thought
or
they
the
had
other,
independence. They
we're gonna
didn't.
get it.
Oh, we'll get it. Don't worry.
We will keep you safe. We will make you rich, and together we will take Greenland to heights like you have never
By the way,
thought
this is
possible
manifest
before.
destiny. America's
It's a
supposed to
very small
expand on.
population.
This is
A lot of
wild.
people are,
It's
oh, God, we're being
10:42.
imperial. No, they want to join us. Come
Very
on.
important for
It's been a while.
military security. America is
Yes,
once
these-
again standing strong against the forces of
Stamina.
radical Islamic terrorism.
It's impressive.
3.5 years ago, ISIS terrorists killed 13 American service members and countless others in the Abbey Gate bombing during the disastrous and incompetent withdrawal from
No, it was
Afghanistan.
fun. It was on purpose.
Not that they were withdrawing, it was the way they withdrew. Perhaps the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. Tonight, I am pleased to announce that we have just apprehended the top terrorist responsible for that atrocity, and he is right now on his way here to face the swift sword of American justice.
Oh, wow. Big announcement.
Even the Democrats had to applaud a little bit here.
No, those are all Republicans.
And I want to thank especially the government of Pakistan for helping arrest this monster.
Yeah, they're not applauding for anything. In fact, I agree with you, Owen. The biggest takeaway, oh, this person murdered a little girl, they're bad. Democrats sit there. We arrested a terrorist. Democrats sit there. I mean, this is next level, Owen. I've never seen Democrats not applaud some things.
Badly injured on that
What do you make of that?
in Afghanistan. What
They're
a
just
horrible
filled with
day.
hate. No other way
Such
to describe it. Just filled with
Sour
hate.
grapes.
That when Putin saw what happened, I guess he said, wow, maybe this is my chance. That's how bad it was. Should have never happened. Grossly incompetent people.
Yeah, Putin
I
invaded
spoke
Iraq
to
to
many of
Afghanistan.
the parents and loved ones, and they
That was
were
done on
all
purpose to get
in our
Russia to do it. I
hearts
said at the
tonight.
time, I said, this is to make
Spoke
Russia
to them
invade
on the
Ukraine.
phone.
This is to
We had
look
a
weak.
big call.
Those bait.
Every one
Putin
of
took
them
it. I said, don't
called,
do
and
it.
Everybody was on the line, and they did nothing but cry with happiness. They were very happy, as happy as you can be under those circumstances. Their child, brother, sister, son, daughter was killed for no reason whatsoever. In the Middle East, we're bringing back our hostages from Gaza. In my first term, we achieved one of the most groundbreaking peace agreements in generations, the Abraham Accords.
Yeah, I'm glad Trump did that. I'm not against the Middle East, but it's not a problem. I think we should. The one area I disagree with him is this Gaza thing. Don't try to pay for it. Don't move it. Just let them kill each other, man. Just like, because you're not going to change. That's what they do over there. It's just like, we got problems here.
Yeah, we need a complete decoupling, is how I describe it.
And now we're going to build on that foundation to create a more peaceful and prosperous future
Yeah, we gotta
for
get
the
out of
entire
all these
region. A
foreign
lot of
dealings,
things are
man.
happening in the Middle East. People have been talking about that so much lately with everything going on with Ukraine and Russia. But a lot of things are happening in the Middle East. It's a rough neighborhood, actually. I'm also working tirelessly to
God,
end the
he's something
savage
else, man.
conflict in
This is,
Ukraine.
the reality's so much
Millions
crazier
of
to fix it.
Ukrainians and
I mean, this is our
Russians have been
president. I mean, he's
needlessly
completely
killed
amazing.
or wounded in this horrific
Complete
and brutal
character.
conflict with no end in sight. The United States has sent hundreds of billions of dollars to support Ukraine's defense with no security, with no anything.
Trump calls out Zelensky in congressional address. Do it.
Do you want to keep it going for another 5 years? Yeah, you would say Pocahontas says yes.
God, I love the continual calling out of the scum.
They just called her Pocahontas.
2,000 people are being killed every single week. More than that. They're Russian young people. They're Ukrainian young people. They're not Americans, but I want it to stop. Meanwhile, Europe has sadly spent more money buying Russian oil and gas than they have spent on defending Ukraine, by far. Think of that. They've spent more buying Russian oil and gas than they have defending. And we've spent perhaps $350 billion, like taking candy from a baby. That's what happened. And they've spent $100 billion. What a difference that is. And we have an ocean separating us, and they don't. But we're getting along very well with them, and lots of good things are happening. Biden has authorized more money in this fight than Europe has spent by billions and billions of dollars. It's hard to believe that
Plus
they wouldn't
NATO.
have stopped it and said
The
at some point,
discrepancies
come
there.
on, let's
They pay
equalize. You got to be
75%
equal
of
to
NATO.
us. But that didn't
85%
happen.
of Ukraine.
Earlier today, I received an important letter from President Zelensky of Ukraine. The letter reads, Ukraine is ready to come to the negotiating table as soon as possible to bring lasting peace closer.
Under your
Nobody
leadership.
wants peace more than the Ukrainians, he said. My team and I stand ready to work under President Trump's strong leadership to get a peace that lasts. We do
Breaking.
really
Trump
value
talks about
how much
Zelensky's
America has
surrender
done to help
in
Ukraine
congressional
maintain
congressional
its
speech.
sovereignty and independence. Regarding the agreement on minerals and security, Ukraine is ready to sign it at any time that is convenient for you. I appreciate that he sent this letter.
Capitulate.
It's funny once we don't surrender, Owen, everything goes our way. Isn't that crazy?
And all the bitching about how they handled that Oval Office meeting. We'll see what they say after the deal's done.
Peace. Wouldn't that be beautiful? Wouldn't that be beautiful?
It's amazing that you don't hear a president ever talk about peace like Trump. Nobody ever talked about peace like Trump. They were so dedicated to war that they couldn't even say it.
We always spin it. He thinks the troops that got hurt are dumb. No, he says, I'm sad they're hurt. It's dumb their legs are blown off.
To halt the killing. It's time to end the senseless war. If you want to end wars, you have to talk to both sides. Nearly 4 years ago, amid rising tensions, a history teacher named Mark Fogel was detained in Russia and sentenced to 14 years in a penal colony. Rough stuff. The previous administration barely lifted a finger to help him. They knew he was innocent, but they had no idea where to begin. But last summer, I promised his 95-year-old mother, Malphine, that we would bring her boy
they didn't want to get him. They didn't care.
Home. After 22 days in office, I did just that, and they are here tonight.
No, I'm glad they got him out. He was innocent, but I mean, they didn't lift a finger. It was like they didn't know where to begin. No, they don't give a shit about Americans.
We are live. It is 10:50 p.m.
The Melania's the number, huh? She hasn't aged in like 8 years.
To Mark and his great mom, we are delighted to have you safe and sound and with us. As fate would have it, Mark Fogel was born in a small rural town in Butler, Pennsylvania. Have you heard of it?
Yeah.
Where his mother has lived for the past 78 years. I just happened to go there last July 13th for a rally. That was not pleasant. And that is where I met his beautiful mom right before I walked onto that stage. And I told her I would not forget what she said about her son. And I never did I? Never forgot.
That's something weird about Trump. I must say
Less
weird.
than 10 minutes later,
in this speech he's saying people he knew 20 years ago. He like called me when I got married 8 years ago to call my wife's cell phone like for 30 minutes.
From his sniper's perch into a crowd of many thousands of people.
He's really personal.
My life was saved by a fraction of an inch, but some were not so lucky.
Imagine he was the president, learned I got married, called my wife's cell phone, told her how great I was for like 20 minutes. I mean, it's crazy, man. He's weird. I mean, I'm just telling you right now.
When the sound of gunshots
weird in a good way.
The air was a horrible sound. Corey knew instantly what it was and what to do.
He gets off on happy people.
He threw himself on top of his wife and daughters and shielded them from the bullets with his own body. Corey was hit really hard. You know the story from there. He sacrificed his life to save theirs.
Shot in the head.
2 others, very fine people, were also seriously hit.
The Democrats said it didn't happen.
But thankfully, with the help of 2 great country doctors, we thought they were gone and they were saved. So those doctors had great talent. We're joined by Corey's wife, Helen, who was his high school sweetheart, and their 2 beloved daughters, Allison and Kaylee.
Trump memorializes the man killed in his attempted assassination in Butler, Pennsylvania. And Trump's currency is emotion. He's also very technical. He loves making people happy. He's a good guy, folks. It's crazy. It's like,
to Helen, Allison, and Kaylee, Corey is looking down on his 3 beautiful ladies right now and he is cheering you on. He loves you. He is cheering you on. Corey was taken from us much too soon, but his destiny was to leave us all with a shining example of the selfless devotion of a true American patriot. It was love like Corey's that built our country, and it's love like Corey's that is going to make our country more majestic than ever before. I believe that my life was saved that day in Butler for a very good reason. I was saved by God to make America great again. I believe that.
Call on God. Wow, he just said it. Trump gives God the credit for his survival in Butler and his election victory. Put that out right now. That calls down the power. Yes. If God's with us, no one stands against us.
Thank you very much. From the patriots of Lexington and Concord to the heroes of Gettysburg and Normandy, from the warriors who crossed the Delaware to the trailblazers who climbed the Rockies, and from the legends who soared at Kitty Hawk to the astronauts who touched the moon.
Elon Musk and SpaceX.
Americans have always been the people who defied all odds, transcended all dangers, made the most extraordinary sacrifices, and did whatever it took to defend our children, our country, and our freedom. And as we have seen in this chamber tonight, that same strength, faith, love, and spirit is still alive and thriving in the hearts of the American people. Despite the best efforts of those who would try to censor us, silence us, break us, destroy us, Americans are today a proud, free, sovereign, and independent nation that will always be free, and we will fight for it till death. We will never let anything happen to our beloved country.
Wow.
Because we are a country of doers, dreamers, fighters, and survivors.
Trump faces down
Our
Democrats
crossed a
for
vast
their
ocean,
attempted destruction of
strode
America.
into the unknown wilderness.
Trump tells the
and carved
Democrats
their
they'll never destroy
fortunes
America to
from
their
the
faces.
rock
Oh,
and
my
soil
God.
Of a perilous and very dangerous frontier. They chased our destiny across a boundless continent. They built the railroads, laid the highways, and
manifest
graced the
destiny.
world with American marvels.
And now we're going to
like
Mars.
the Empire State Building, the mighty Hoover Dam, and the towering Golden Gate Bridge. They lit the world with electricity, broke free of the force of gravity, fired up the engines of American industry, vanquished the communists, fascists, and Marxists all over the world, and gave us countless modern wonders sculptured out of iron, glass, and steel. We stand on the shoulders of these pioneers who won and built the modern age.
We do.
These workers who poured their sweat into the skylines of our cities. These warriors who shed their blood on fields of battle and gave everything they had for our rights and for our freedom. Now it is our time to take up the righteous cause of American liberty. And it is our turn to take America's destiny into our own hands and begin the most thrilling days in the history of our country. This will be our greatest era. With God's help, over the next 4 years, we are going to lead this nation even higher, and we are going to forge the freest, most advanced, most dynamic, and most dominant civilization ever to exist on the face of this earth.
America's long surrender is
We're going to create
over.
the highest quality of life, build the safest and wealthiest and healthiest and most vital communities anywhere in the world. We are going to conquer the vast frontiers of science, and we are going to lead humanity into space and plant the American flag on the planet Mars and even far beyond.
Yes. Type 1 civilization, prime directive. Told you. Didn't know, but I knew.
I'm gonna go to Saturn.
Long surrender is over.
Europa.
And through it all, we are going to rediscover the unstoppable power
Who is this guy?
of the American spirit.
He's
And
like-
we are going to renew unlimited promise of the
Sour.
American dream. Every single day, we will stand up
We literally had Victor Boot, top
for the country, our citizens,
Putin confidant, saying, we are ready for your leadership. We are ready. I mean, this is it. Everybody knows America's supposed to lead, not lead us into death and destruction, but lead us into victory, ordained by God. Trump just launched the Type 1 civilization operations, and people don't think we can do it. You're going to look back on this, your grandkids will, and just think, this is nothing. I flew to Mars this week.
My fellow Americans, get ready for an incredible future, because the golden age of America has only just begun. It will be like nothing that has ever been seen before. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless America.
The opposite of the Great Reset. Humans are bad. We're all going to die. Kill your children. Cut your son's dick off. Unbelievable. Wow. I couldn't think of a top Friday.
We're pushing 3 hours on this episode. You're welcome. Usually I try to keep them like an hour.
And the Democrats sat there,
but
most of them
I had
left,
to stick around
shitting their
for this
pants
one.
the entire time. Wow.
I'm glad
all
we
I
did
can say
that.
is,
Thanks for hanging
this
in
is
there,
history
folks.
right now. Because we have all the potential right now, but they tried to demoralize us. Trump just went 180 degrees against them.
That was an hour and 40 minutes on the nose from President
And
Trump.
the Democrats were all talk. Only one of them was shaking his cane. That shit was hilarious.
Speech, an incredible delivery.
Yeah, the headlines are he's all dying. He's way better than 8 years ago.
Yeah, well, again, I mean, it's like outside of policy, the left has become completely irrelevant. There's no, I mean, yeah, Trump's limping. He's got a fake. I mean, it's just complete garbage. But I really do look forward to the next 4 years. And there are a lot of reasons to do so. And if we can release the American potential, then everything Trump said there in closing is very real and very true. And I think that that's kind of the untold story that maybe Americans are finally starting to realize, and Doge is kind of like the keyhole vision into it. But it's beyond that. It's not just all the fraud, waste, and abuse of the U.S. taxpayer.
All right, well, I'm going to keep watching the analysis. You can jump over to band.video for the rest of it. This has been a lot of fun. This is Christian Coffins once more bringing down the display capture, coming back down to SeaWorld, and I don't belong over there. I belong somewhere over here, and I'm about that big when I start the show. And that about does it. If you like what we do, cash.app/DarkDox. We do this Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at youtube.com/Sacred Owls. And yeah, you guys have a good night. Tomorrow is sushi day, so we got 2 more episodes this week. We're just getting started. And we need some accountability. We need arrests and the death penalties that got me all riled up. So, you know, I don't have rose-colored glasses on. I got my defenses up, but I mean, that was just historic. Amazing stuff. This is Christian Coffins once more saying, beware, take care.
Leading a frontal assault on the lies of the New World Order, it's Christian Coffins.
DarkDox, 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 digest. DarkDox, 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 digest. DarkDox, 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 digest. DarkDox, 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 digest. If you value this program, donate what you can at cash.app/DarkDox. DarkDox, 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 digest. DarkDox, 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 digest.